Hello, welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you for being here. This is the Dean Withers Show, and this is episode 497. That's crazy. We have 3 more episodes until we are at episode 500 of our daily debate broadcast. That is really exciting. Not to mention, it's pretty insane. Like, wow, 500 episodes of this. That's nuts. Now, folks, I appreciate everyone so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, if you are tuning in live, make sure that you were double tapping away on that phone screen on TikTok, saying what's good in that chat, sharing this live stream out with a handful of friends, or just reposting it. If you're on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Say what's good in that comment section as well. As I would like to give a big shout out to all of the VOD watchers on YouTube who actually don't watch us live, but watch us after the fact. When it's recorded as a long-form video. And I'd like to give a big shout out. I think their name is Me Too or something like that. Their name starts with an M. I'll have to look at an older VOD of mine, and I'll have to look at the comment section. I actually want to give a shout out to this person real quick. I forget their name. There's somebody on our YouTube channel who every single day records like a lot of the timestamps of debates, and I am very thankful for them. I'm going to have to try to remember their name here just to give them a very special shout out because they're very, 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 very helpful and kind. Oh, yes, it is Me Too Brahm. So Me Too, if you happen to be watching the live stream right now, just know I appreciate you and I always have. Shout out to you. But anyways, folks, let's go ahead and hop into the debates. Before we try to get that very first Trump supporter up of the day, let's also talk about the breaking news. So what's the breaking news of today? Well, we woke up to some horrible economic news. Genuinely, the economy is in the gutter. The reports are in, it's official. According to Trump's Bureau of Labor Statistics, in the month of July, we lost 24,000 jobs. Yeah, 24,000 jobs we lost in the month of July. And this is a hit in the gut for sure, because economists were actually predicting that we weren't going to lose any jobs and that we were going to gain 87,000. But because of this stagnant economy that we live under and the terrible economic reform from the Trump administration, we're losing jobs left and right. Okay? Somehow, the unemployment rate went down to 4.1%, but because of how few jobs we have in the market today, it's almost impossible to get one. I would hate to be looking for a job right now. And the very few jobs that are open, I mean, there are reports of some of these positions having upwards of 10,000 applicants. It is ridiculous. I feel really bad for new adults. I feel really bad for people who are just now trying to get things figured out. I especially feel bad for people who've been trying to get things figured out, maybe turned 18 in like 2020. It's just been ever since 2020. The economy just hasn't been the best. We were finally back on track at the end of the Biden-Harris administration. We had some pretty great jobs reports. We finally saw inflation going down. We finally saw things stabilizing, but now things are being artificially shaken up by a terrible president who doesn't have a fucking clue. So yeah, we lost a lot of jobs. That is bad news. I will repeat, that is very bad news. Let's go ahead and try to get, excuse me. Let's go ahead and try to get that very first guest in of the day. Only opposite side of the queue for me, if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you, folks. I'd really appreciate it so much if you would follow the rules. I'm actually going to lean off screen real quick and blow my nose.
Dean, debate me, bro. Come on, Dean. Stop being scared.
Yeah, hi. How old are you?
I'm 18, bro.
Sorry, Rain. I had to quickly blow my nose there. What year were you born in?
February 5th, 2008.
Okay, and you seem like you're a little rambunctious. Are you doing all right?
Yes, I'm fine. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. So, why do you support Trump?
I would just say I would pick him over Kamala.
Okay.
Yeah, like
trust me. I understand. Policies. I understand that's what you would do. I kind of get that from the whole debate me bro and the Charlie Kirk profile picture. So I understand you'd pick him over Harris. I want to know why.
I mean, from mostly the immigration through ways he's...
When did you graduate high school?
Debate me about abortion, Dean, please.
Child. Moving on to the next guest, only opposite side of the queue. If you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you, folks. For all the Parker Raiders tuning into the live stream, I appreciate you for being here. For all the Parker Raiders tuning into the live stream, I appreciate you for being here. As well as Mr. Charles Smith, thank you for the Galaxy on TikTok. Shout out to you. Folks, we went over this earlier. I'm going to go ahead and repeat it again now. We will be doing a much shorter broadcast today than we usually do, just because I have some plans later that I have to be at around 6 p.m. my time. So this means that instead of being on for a typical 4 hours, we may only be on for around 3 hours and 30 minutes. Now, the ball is kind of in the court of the audience to determine how you guys want to spend, those 3 hours and 30 minutes. I would prefer to spend them actually debating Trump supporters. But I mean, if we just get hours and hours and hours of trolls the same way that we did yesterday, we're just going to cancel the live stream as a whole today. I, in fact, was this close just to taking the day off as a whole. But, I love what I do so much, so I decided to hop on here. But if it really is like hours and hours and hours of trolls, we are just going to go ahead and cancel the live stream for the day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Wes Johnson?
Yes, I do.
Wes Johnson, what's that background noise?
I'm on a bus right now.
Oh. Okay. You're on a bus. I'm sorry. I don't want to terrorize the other people in public. Imagine being on a public bus and then you just hear some white boy screaming at his phone about how much immigrants suck. I'm not it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm actually not joking. I don't want to terrorize the public. Welcome in, King New Yorker. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Get the hell out of the shower. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go to get Jameson loaded up in the box. James, thank you so much for the $20 donation on PayPal. James, that is very kind of you, my friend. Let's get 200 James W's, who says, today is Red Friday. Red stands for Remember Everybody Deployed. Please ask the chat to wear something red today. Also, 22 veterans commit suicide every day on average. Please support your local veterans group in your area. Semper Fi, Dean. I appreciate you so much for your service, Mr. James the Marine. And it's definitely something that needs to be discussed concerning the amount of individuals who have lost their lives due to trauma and mental turmoil brought home with them from their service. Let's go ahead and get the next guest connected. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Drowsy, thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat, who says, just wanted to say that I love your lives and I love watching them in front of my MAGA mom just to make her mad. Use this money to get you and Momo some snacks. Hey, thank you, Drowsy. If honestly, Drowsy, you should try to convince your MAGA mom to debate me. I'd love to talk to her. Thank you so much for the $20. You're awesome. Let's go to get Jasmine up in the box. Guys, do remember that today our live stream is going to be much shorter than usual, around 3 hours and 30 minutes compared to 4.
I do not support Trump, but my dad does.
Oh, Jasmine, I'm so sorry. Feel free to hop back inside of that queue. I kicked you because you said that you don't support Trump. Just for people in the future, if you do want me to debate your parent, straight up lie to me and say that you do support Trump and then explain that you don't. Because as soon as I hear the I don't support Trump, I usually kick. And that's not your fault at all. So, Jasmine, feel free to hop back inside of that queue. But because of today's shorter live, folks, because I do have some plans later that are unavoidable, the ball is kind of in the court of the audience to determine how you want to spend our time today. I would like to spend our time debating. So that means that we need to kind of put a collective effort into not trolling. And if we do just get a bunch of trolls, no harm, no foul, I am just going to go ahead and end the stream early. So then I could help my girlfriend pack. Welcome in, Liam. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go to ban you. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Only on side of the queue if you do happen to be MAGA, folks. Thank you so much for the $10. Nevea, who says, hey, Dean, love your lives. And yesterday while listening to the live, I drew you. I post on my TikTok soon. If I do so, I'll tag you. Yes, that's awesome. I appreciate you for the $10. Thank you for being here. Ryan Carter, do you support Trump? I'd also like to give a really big shout out to Maunch. That is Maunch. Thank you for the $50 donation over on Super Chat. Maunch, you are the absolute goat. That is so much money, and I'm very grateful for you. Maunch says, I used to have irreversible brain death until I saw your stream. Thank you, King. Also, bless you, W Sneeze Griff. No days off, please. You get me through work. Oh, my goodness. I remember that guest from yesterday, Maunch. They were unbearable. Thank you for the love. Welcome in, Lucas. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Lucas, could you come a little bit closer to your mic or disconnect Bluetooth from your phone?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
Okay, and what are your thoughts on the economic news today? According to Trump's Bureau of Labor Statistics, last month we lost 24,000 jobs.
Well, as somebody who's actually planning on. I'm actually looking for a job in another area because I'm getting ready to move away for school, and that's been increasingly difficult. So that's just one of the struggles where it does affect everybody. It affects anybody who's trying to better their life, and especially in a time like right now where the economy is as bad as it is, and everyone needs money, everyone needs jobs. I mean,
Yeah, you know, if we didn't have Trump, then we wouldn't have this economic struggle, right? In 2024 under Biden, we actually added 2.2 million jobs to the economy. We had two 50-year historical low levels of unemployment too, and things were booming. It was only after Trump started his war in Iran, imposed his tariffs, and passed the big beautiful bill that things have gone stagnant and people like you've started to suffer. So the question remains, how could you still support him?
if I'm being honest, you're right. I just wanted to get on your live.
Okay, let's go to move on to the next guest, folks. Only hop inside of the queue if you are here for debate, everybody. Only hop inside of the queue if you are here for debate, everybody. I keep on getting notifications that people are at my front door because I have a security system installed. It's just my girlfriend, but it keeps on freaking me out. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Dean Witherspoon, why do you hate me so much?
Welcome in, Urban Wheelies. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're at 14 minutes of trolls, everybody. We are at 14 minutes of trolls today. Like I said, if we get a bunch of trolls, we are probably just going to end the stream early so that I can help my girlfriend.
22 years old, April 7th, 2004. I'm here to debate you.
Okay, do you happen to support the worst president of your
Yeah, I
life?
do. I wouldn't be up here if I didn't.
Yeah, that's really fucking embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, you're embarrassing, fucking dumbass beggar.
Okay, yeah, I understand that you'd like to project.
So guys, when
whatever.
he says he's gonna end the stream, don't believe him because he needs the stream to make money because he's a fucking no life, no job, you know. So guys, just keep that in mind, guys. He's not gonna end the stream, you know. This is his job, you know. This is quote unquote job.
Yeah, so you're right. I do need the stream to make money.
He needs
because
this money, guys. So don't let him affect you. I'm gonna end the stream, guys. We get too many trolls. No, he needs this money. He's a fucking begging bitch, and he said the N-word, guys. You still support people like this who said the fucking N-word, and he said, "No, I'm just a kid." Fuck that. You still have that racist bone in your fucking body.
By the way, he's just
You're
gonna
a racist
steamroll,
bitch.
and then he's gonna leave. People like this are actually
I'm
scared of
definitely.
talking to me.
Oh, you think I'm gonna leave, Dean? I'm
Yeah,
here all
that's what
day
you
if you
usually
want
do.
to. I'm here all day. What's up?
Okay.
I'm here all
Just
day.
let me know
get
when it's my
comfy,
turn.
Boy. It's your turn. Let's go.
Okay. So to your first point, you said, oh, don't believe Dean if he says that he maybe wants to take a day off or end the stream because he needs the stream in order to make money. Yeah, that's how jobs work. You typically need to work to make money. However, the thing is I don't need to work every day in order to generate a sustainable income to support myself and my loved ones. You know, most people work 5 days a week. They take weekends off. I happen to work 7 days a week and usually only take 1 day a year off on my girlfriend's birthday. I think I could afford a break, okay? and due to the fact that I could afford a break, yeah, it's pretty believable to think that if we're just getting trolls, I would end the stream early so then I could help my girlfriend pack. So I understand that you're just, really upset. A lot of people are really upset by me because, I don't know, I mog you physically and intellectually. And I don't know, it makes you kind of feel silly out here when I'm explaining to an audience of over 30,000 people why you're such a dumbass. Now, to your second point, you called me racist. Do you think that people shouldn't support me because you think I'm racist?
Dude, you try to spin your whole shit
Can I just get a straight answer to the question, young man?
No, people... Young man, dude, I'm older than you. You fucking punk.
Yeah, well, when I called you a young man, I wasn't talking about how many times you've been around the sun. I was talking about your mental acuity. You might fit in with the 4th graders at max, 3rd graders on average. But young man, I did ask you a question. Do you think that people shouldn't support me because you think I'm quote-unquote racist?
Yes, I don't think people should support a fucking racist.
Okay, and that's why you support a man as president whose entry into politics was disparaging black people and being racist against Obama. A man who was sued in the 70s for refusing to rent to black people at his properties in violation of the Civil Rights Act. A man who just depicted the 2 most successful black people in the history of this country as literal apes and monkeys on Truth Social.
Man, you could say that, man, but is there any video of Trump even saying the N-word? Because there's video of you saying the N-word, though, little boy.
So do you think that the only thing that a white person can do that is racist is say the N-word?
Dean, I want
a yes or no answer to my question, so I'll just repeat the question. Do you think the only racist thing that a white person can do is to say the N-word?
No, but
Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and count that as a blunder because I very clearly articulated a handful of very racist things that that Donald Trump has done, such as literally violating the Civil Rights Act by refusing to rent to black people. And when they would get a in-paper housing application from a black person, they'd put the letter C on it, standing for colored, then throw it in the drunk drawer. And as I already said, but I will repeat because you need me to hold your hand through this conversation, his introduction into American politics. I know you lash out and you get angry when people are smarter.
I lash out, but again, I lash out. I could lash out, but hey, definitely, there's nothing of me saying the N-word online when you're trying to flex like you're fucking.
You want to know what else there isn't you doing online? There's also not you giving a counter argument to the position at hand. That position being that you said people shouldn't support individuals that are racist, and I could articulate maybe infinite reasons why Trump is racist, but you can't respond to them. So do you agree? Do you agree that it was racist when Donald Trump refused to rent to black people?
Buddy,
it was that racist? Okay, so Trump shouldn't be the president, correct?
My guy.
So Trump shouldn't be president?
Trump ain't the listen. Trump ain't the god of the fucking Republican Party, buddy. I didn't vote for him the second time.
It doesn't seem to be the case that you're responding to what I'm saying. I just want to clarify because I've given you circumstances of Trump being racist. Can we agree that Trump shouldn't be president?
I'm not gonna say that he shouldn't be president. He's more qualified over the other person running.
And what are his qualifications?
He was president before. I mean, come on, that's enough.
Okay, what was your favorite thing that he did in his first 4 years?
I'm not gonna sit here and spew on
nonsense. So you just came prepped with like the rage.
I mean, if I could get
you just came prepped with the rage bait.
Can I search it up, bud?
Yeah. Feel free. Go take some time to do some research.
Let me pull it up on my 1500.
Yeah, good boy.
PC,
good boy,
bud. So
good boy.
You can't afford.
Good boy. DB, I appreciate you so much for the galaxy. Good boy.
You can't afford that.
Good boy. Good boy. African Warlord, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat, who says, Dean, can you dress like a caveman with a MAGA hat for your 500th episode? That would be pretty funny. African Warlord, it's certainly good to see you today. Thank you so much for the $20. Let's get 200 African W's in that chat. Same thing to Caden with the $10, who says, hey, Dean, both my parents are MAGA, and I confronted them about it. Hush. And they grounded me for 2 months. I ended up moving in with my sister who's not MAGA. I'm so sorry to hear that you went through that. Oh my goodness. I'm really sorry to hear that you went through that. That is terrible. As well as over on Venmo, Annie, thank you for the $15. I appreciate you. And I agree with that, Annie. I'm going to keep that to myself.
This is the same guy that was
Avery,
on
thank you for the $5. And Michael,
same guy
thank
that
you
was
for
on
the
Aiden
$10.
Ross's stream that said he could put himself in gay people's shoes. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Shit. I mean, you know you lost to Nick Fuentes, right?
What's the point I lost on?
You lost on every point.
Can you name one?
I could put myself in gay people's shoes. Get fucking real, dude.
Wait.
It's a reality check, bud. This is no dream right now.
So what point was? So I just want to clarify.
Pinch yourself if you think you're dreaming.
I just want to clarify. You're claiming that I lost the debate because I said that I could put myself in gay people's shoes.
Yeah, you can't put yourself in gay people's shoes. You're not gay, Dean.
Okay.
Get fucking real.
Okay. What was the comment? What was the context of that statement being made?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was actually just me talking about how members of the LGBTQ plus community face a lot of adversity and oppression in America today. And I was making a comment about how I could put myself in their shoes and like think it's like harmful and like a bad thing to live under a homophobic society. But I mean, of course, you know, that was probably not the best way to word it because people took that one out of context pretty fast. So now I just kind of roll with it. But anyways, that was not a substantive point of the dialogue.
7 million jobs during his first presidency. What did Sleepy Joe do?
7 million jobs during his first presidency. What did Trump do to add 7 million jobs to the economy in his first 4 years?
He did a lot, bud.
Like what?
Give me a minute. Let me get this article up.
Yeah. Just debate ChatGPT.
Yeah. Dean, we know you're fucking...
I'm doing.
Buddy, yeah, that's literally what you are doing. You use ChatGPT, you little bitch.
Yeah, I would make false allegations too. You know, that's almost like telling a natural bodybuilder that they have to be on steroids.
Right here, Dean. So, Dean,
I'm actually just waiting for you to tell us. I'm waiting for you to tell us what Trump did to add 7 million jobs to the economy in his first 4 years.
He did a lot. I mean,
Oh,
he
like
reduced
what?
the direct cost of the regulatory compliance.
take
by
your time.
$50
Take your time. It's
billion. $50 billion. Sleepy Joe can't do that.
So what exactly did he do to create 7 million jobs? Do you want to repeat that for me?
You see, you're trying to like clown somebody. I mean,
By asking for clarification?
that's crazy.
That would
man.
only
You're-
clown you if you couldn't
you're
clarify.
fucking weird.
I just want to clarify. I would only be clowning you by asking you for clarification if you could not clarify on what you said.
You're maybe it's the coke that you're doing.
See,
Maybe
the thing is
maybe
is
it's
I
the secret.
like people like this like join the live stream and they like try to throw all these like hits at me. They
Maybe-
call me a bitch. They try to like frustrate
Maybe
me and
it's-
rage bait me. But the thing is
You're
like
doing this-
I don't need to like play their games. I could just debate them. I could just
You're a
debate them and then
fucking
embarrass
loser.
them.
You're a fucking loser. You're doing the C drug. That's what you're doing, bud.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm a
when you
fucking
go off
loser.
camera every time.
You know
You
who
go
the
off
real loser
camera
is?
every
You know
time.
who the
That's
real
what you're
loser
doing,
is?
bud.
I would say the real loser is the you know, the little man at the bottom right hand corner of the panel who's still supporting Trump as president after he was found guilty in court for raping a woman, after
Listen, I
he's
can
destroyed the
live
American
freely.
economy,
Hey, I
after
can
he
live
started a
freely,
new war
bitch.
of overseas in Iran, after he threatened to invade our allies, after he illegally deported 300 undocumented immigrants to literally get beaten and tortured overseas, and after the third worst monthly jobs report since 2020 last month under him. So I mean, let's just clarify here. I asked you why you support Trump. You say, oh, because he
told
added
you.
7 million jobs to the economy in his first 4 years. I ask you to tell us what he did in his first 4 years to cause that outcome. You can't name anything, and you just call me a bitch. So let me tell you where we're at.
Dude,
We're
get
at a point
fucking
in the
real.
debate where I'm talking
you.
to a very stupid person experiencing a
stupid.
lot of big
you.
emotions and a lot of the Dunning-Kruger effect,
Yeah,
where
but
you
I'm
think
not
you are
racist.
smarter
though.
than
But I'm
you
not
are.
racist though. But I'm not racist though. That's what.
Well, I'd
Hey, I
actually,
can say
I'd
I'm not
actually argue
racist.
that you might be. I'd
I'm
actually argue that you
racist.
might be, but you
Get the
know,
fuck out of here.
I don't know. Look who you're defending as president.
Hey,
You admitted that Trump is racist, but you still support him as
listen,
president because
listen,
you think he's
listen.
better. But
Hey,
then when I
listen,
ask you
bitch.
why
Hey,
he's better,
hey,
can you
hey,
clarify?
I'm talking, boy. I'm talking, punk.
Oh,
I'm
actually,
talking, punk.
actually, I'm speaking.
No,
So
I'm
you told us that
speaking, bud.
that you acknowledge that Trump is racist, but you still
fucking
support him
punk.
as president. Oh, okay, you're going to interrupt me because that's what immature men, children do when they're
Okay,
losing a
but
debate.
why are we?
I get
speaking
it.
about
I
how
get it. You're going to
how he
interrupt me,
reached record
but I'm not
lows?
going to let you. I'm going to wait. I'm going to
Poverty
wait
was
until you
record
are
low during
done
his
so I
first
can
term
finish.
for
I'm going to
African and
wait
Hispanics.
until you are done
Talk
so I
about
can
that,
finish.
bub.
Well, I mean, I'm
Talk
not going
about
to
that,
talk about
bub.
anything with you outside of the question that I have for you that you have refused to let me ask because instead you've been incessantly
outta
interrupting
here.
me every 3 seconds. He's a literal
26,000
child.
viewers in here.
Look at this child.
And they're
Look at this
cult-like
child.
following. They're cult like following.
He's
you
losing
fucking
it.
dud.
He's losing it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, listen, I wish I had crayon and polka dot paper to make this easier for you because I probably need
So
to
talk, bud. Talk. Spew your lies out. Spew your lies, bud. This is Joey223 talking to you now. Spew your fucking lies out, bud.
We're going to need to find an easier way to do this.
Spew your lies
What is
out,
your
bud.
favorite Trump policy?
See, I'm not gonna be here with I'm not gonna sit here like with a racist and try to debate Trump policies. I told you what I like about him. I told you what I like about him.
What did you say that you like about him?
That I get to live freely. I get to live comfortable.
How does
know,
Donald
I
Trump help you live more comfortably?
Listen. See, he was sending out them stimuluses. Dude, shit.
So the
Shit.
stimulus checks were bipartisan, and there was also one pushed out under Biden.
Oh, we don't give a fuck about the Biden one, okay? Biden's a fucking
Why?
dumbass. Now, let me ask you this, Dean.
No, answer
I
my
wanna ask you
question.
this.
Why do you care about the stimulus check under Trump, but you don't care about the
Dude,
stimulus
because
check under Biden?
This is how I got my PC under Trump. Big Trump got me a PC. Now, when I'm old enough, my gas prices they're not really affected by this.
Okay, so
new
you're just saying that you
fucking
chose
thing
to spend the money
fucking
that you got from Trump on a
CNN,
PC,
fucking
but you didn't choose
CNN.
to spend the money you got under Biden on a PC.
Fucking CNN fucking spewing lies about the gas prices and shit. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I bet you're fucking CNN's poster boy. The fucking Democrats pay you. You and fucking Parker are poster boys for the fucking Democrats. Fucking Kamala Harris was paying you guys on the fucking table with her fucking Four Locos she drinks every fucking day. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. I mean, I'm really trying to debate this guy, but I think it just may be a waste of time because of how stupid he is.
Oh wow. So we're going with insults now.
I'm going with honesty.
That's cool. That's
Like,
cool.
listen,
So why
I'm
can't
trying
we...
to determine. I'm trying to
No.
determine what Donald Trump has done that you support. You said his stimulus checks, and then I
Yeah.
said 2 points in response. The first point I said in response was those were bipartisan, and the second point that I said in response is we also saw another round of stimulus under Biden. And then you said, well, you don't care about Biden's stimulus. And then I asked you why, and you said because Biden is dumb. This doesn't change the fact, regardless of your thoughts on Biden, that under the Biden-Harris administration, you would have received a stimulus check given that you were honest about your age and honest about also receiving one under Trump.
Yeah, I received one under Trump and the dumbass. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So why do you only care about the one that you received under Trump?
I'm not a big fan of Mr. Biden and what he
Okay.
did.
Okay, well then it seems like the stimulus check is not the foundation for your support in Trump because although
No, but he
Biden
also
also
did-
gave you a
I'm
stimulus
talking.
check.
No, no,
One
I'm
moment,
talking.
one
now,
moment.
boy. I'm
Although
talking.
Biden
Okay,
also
talk,
gave you a
talk,
stimulus
talk.
check, you don't support Biden. So basically what you're saying is that you support Trump because of the stimulus check, but you don't support Biden regardless of the stimulus check. So why does the stimulus check only explain your support for Trump, but doesn't explain your support for any other candidate?
I just told you, move on, bud. Move on.
I don't think
bud.
you did.
Move on, bud. Let's talk about immigration.
Okay.
Get the
What
fuck
do you
out
want
of
to
here
talk
with
about
that shit.
immigration?
Move on, bud.
What do you want to
Fuck
do?
outta
What do you want to
here.
speak about in reference to immigration?
Fuck
by the
out of
way?
here. Hey,
Young
listen.
man, what do you want to
Hey,
speak
listen.
about in reference
we
to
get all
immigration,
them
young
out.
man?
We get them all out. Hey, we don't want people stealing our jobs. This is America. We're born in the USA.
Okay. So your claim is the more undocumented immigrants that we deport, the more job openings that there will be for Americans.
Oh, well, not right now, but in the future, yeah. Of
Could you
course.
give me an argument for that?
What?
That mass deportation in the long term will make more jobs?
Oh, of course. I mean, dude, getting them fucking people that are not documented in this fucking country, get the fuck out of here if you're not documented.
That doesn't
And,
explain why you think that in the long term, getting them out will create more job opportunities.
I just told you, dumbass, if you
You
would let
didn't
me
tell
finish.
me why. You just made the
If
claim.
you would let me finish, boy.
Well, we all understand that you made the claim that in the long term, mass
All right,
deportation
all
will
right.
create
Talk,
job
man. Talk
opportunities.
your shit. Talk your shit. So
We
so
all
speak.
understand that you
Talk
made
your
the
shit.
claim that mass deportation will open jobs in the long term, but you haven't given us any reason to believe that that claim is true. I'm asking you for the reason to believe that that claim is true.
But, oh my god. I mean, dude, get the fuck out of here. I'm telling you.
We broke his brain.
You didn't break shit.
Yes,
I
we
blame
did.
you.
You
I
made the
blame you.
claim that if we do a mass deportation,
There will be
it will
more
create
job
more
openings,
jobs for
but there
Americans.
will be more
Oh,
job
oh,
openings.
and your justification, your evidence for that claim is quote unquote, we just need to get them all out of here.
Well, why are they taking up everything?
That does not give any reason to believe that if we do kick them all out of here, that there will be more job openings for Americans. What's the evidence for the claim that if we do get them all out of here, there will be more job openings for Americans?
Hey, wages go up, bud.
Dirty Dan, thank you so much for the galaxy. And what's the argument for that?
Less people. I mean, you're just making my brain.
Less
just
people,
blank
higher
'cause you
wages?
just
Well,
put me
according
on
to
the
the U.S.
spot.
Bureau of Economic Analysis, legal immigrants actually increase wages by 1 to 2% annually in lower skilled labor groups. So you're wrong according to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis.
The U.S. what?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Those were big words, and you're a very dumb guy. So let me try to break it down for you.
Oh, I'm dumb, but I'm not
The
racist.
U.S. Bureau, and
I'm
neither
dumb,
am
but
I.
I'm not racist.
And neither am I. The
You
U.S.
definitely
Bureau
are.
of
Okay, so
Economic.
now
One
you're
second.
admitting that you're
No,
not
no, no.
racist.
You asked
Let's
me.
pull
You
up
asked
the
me to
clip.
break it. You asked me to break it down for
Let's
you.
pull up the clip of you saying the N-word, bud. I
Oh,
got it
oh,
right here.
oh,
for
oh,
you,
wait, wait, wait,
dumbass.
wait, wait. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So let me make it clear. There are two things here that are true at the same time. Okay? It's true that I'm not racist, and it's also true that 8 years ago I used the N-word. So, how could both of those two things be true simultaneously?
if
One
any
moment.
black
One
people-
moment.
if any-
One moment.
if
One
any
moment. One moment.
African-Americans
One
are in here, you're
moment.
still-
One moment. We have to wait for him to stop freaking out. And we have to treat a child like a child. I'm going to start from the top. How is it true simultaneously that I'm not racist, but 8 years ago, I called one of my white friends the N-word? Let's go through
I mean,
it.
this is just
One
this
moment.
is the fucking
One
problem.
moment. I'm sorry, we have to wait. We have to wait for this guy to stop freaking out. I mean, it's just terrible. It's genuinely just terrible. Lexi, thank you for the fireworks on TikTok. That's very kind of you. Got to treat him like a child. You're in timeout right now. Z, thank you for the glowing jellyfish. To restart. How could it be simultaneously true that I'm not racist, but 8 years ago I called one of my white friends the N-word? Well, I think we should start off by acknowledging that. Oh,
Let's get back to
okay.
the economic.
No.
Fuck the racist. I got my points down. Let's go. I got my articles and everything now.
I'm
boy.
sorry. You
ready.
made the claim that I'm racist, so I'm going to respond
Well,
to it, and you're going to listen to me.
Let's pull your fucking clip up then. So if
You don't need to pull the clip up if
why
I'm
you
admitting it
embarrassed?
exists.
You embarrassed?
I'm just saying
This bitch is embarrassed.
it just seems like it's something that you don't need to do because I'm admitting it exists.
He's
and I have for the
embarrassed,
last 2
guys.
years.
He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed.
It is also going to get you taken down on TikTok because TikTok will restrict you for playing or saying the N-word.
Okay. I
So I've been trying to say something for the last 2 minutes, but every single time I start speaking, you interrupt me. Can
then
you stop
speak,
doing that?
boy. I'm letting you speak, boy.
Okay. Try your best. This is MAGA, by the way. If you're like an apolitical viewer and you're trying to determine, he just left. That's what they always do. They always just leave. They always just leave. They make the claim that I'm racist. I'm like, well, I mean, hey, actually, yeah, like, I did call my white friends the N-word 8 years ago when I was 14 years old. It was a bad thing that I did because I was immature and stupid, and I could acknowledge that was racist for me to do even though I was 14. But thankfully, from the age of 14 to damn near 20 fucking 2, okay, clearly I've held myself accountable, and clearly I've changed my views on the permissibility of a white person calling another white person the N-word by being exposed to important and critical nuance and education surrounding the nature of the existence of racism and the words attached to racism in America today and historically to a level that I was not when I was literally 14 years old. And that always throws them off. That always sits them down because it takes away their ability to rage bait. And they always leave. They always run away when that happens. They are more so just kind of comment section chirpers. Ethan, do you support Trump?
Yes, sir, I do. I don't know if you remember me, Dean, but like about a month ago, we had a great conversation about. Can I say A? Do I have to say AB? I know some people make you say that. But
Nat, thank you so much for the glowing jellyfish. Listen, any rules about language that you've heard from other streams, just ignore them here. You could say abortion, you could say murder, you could say kill. I think it's just TikTok superstition.
Yeah.
I don't think it
Like
should get restricted.
Okay. Yeah, but we had a great conversation about abortion and meta ethics. I don't know if you remember that. I know you talked to like thousands of people, but
I'm not sure that I do, Ethan. Do you still support Trump?
I do because of the abortion standpoint.
Oh boy.
I know.
Okay.
I know. It's a risky one, but
yeah. Listen, I have a couple of people to thank here. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much, African Warlord, for another $200 donation on YouTube Super Chat. God damn, African Warlord. I want to see 2,000 African W's in that chat. That is legitimately fucking crazy. Thank you so much for the love, African. Oh my goodness. That is so kind of you. That is so much money, and I'm so grateful for you. Huge shout out to African down below in that chat. Just fucking major, massive shout out to African. That is beyond kind of you. I'm so grateful for you. African with the $200 says, I also feel very defended when MAGA callers defend us black folks by saying Dean said the N-word and are not racist in the slightest. Dude, African warlord. I love your satirical sense of humor. I pick up on it, and I think that most other people do too. But I'm like afraid that like 1% of viewers don't. But just know that I think you're awesome. Lord T, thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat. Let's get to it at Lord TWs, who says, living freely in mom's basement and thinking Trump knows that he exists. Is this a fetus? That last guest may have been a fetus. He was acting like a child, so maybe he was. Elizabeth, thank you for the $20 as well, who says, interesting that he accused Dean of doing the C drug because based on his aggro crash out, he's probably projecting. Get clean and stop being mean, kiddo. Oh my goodness, I forgot about that. He did accuse me of that. Lord T with the $10 says, mom took his phone for him not doing his chores. WMom, hashtag emotional, hashtag Lord T, hashtag tender affirming care. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing, bro? Over on Venmo, thank you, Jason, for the $5. Ambi, thank you for the $10. Then Teresa with the $10 says, thank you for doing what you do. I appreciate you, Teresa. And then Cheyenne, thank you so much for the $50 donation. That is Cheyenne, Shyanne. That is so much money. I'm so grateful for you. Let's get 500 Cheyenne W's, who says, put this towards your paid time off. I appreciate you. Thank you. Octavia, thank you for the $20. Who says, weirdly on topic for the breaking news, I haven't been able to donate in a while because I got laid off in February. I just got a new job yesterday. Well, I'm happy for you, Octavia. Thank you for the $20, and I wish you the best of luck in your new job. Will, thank you for the Galaxy. Saffron, thank you for the $5. And over on PayPal, I really do appreciate you for the $20. Madison, yesterday was my sister's birthday, and we both love you. Could you please say hi to Kaylee? Yes, happy late birthday, Kylie. I hope that you had a great day. Thank you for being here, and shout out to you. Thank you so much for the $20, you too. Same thing to Brianna with the $20 over on PayPal for putting up with Stanford's nonsense. Dude, he was a bullshitter for sure. Thank you for the $20. Cassandra, thank you for the $50, who says, here's something towards refreshments while packing or dinner. I've moved away too much in my life. My heart is with you. We play music and make it a low-key party. I appreciate you for the $40. That is very kind of you, Cassandra. Let's get 500 Cassandra W's in that chat. Thank you for the massive donation. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. Huge shout out to Cassandra. Same thing to Brianna. Thank you for the $5. And Miliana, thank you so much for the €10. We are all caught up. Why don't you take it away and tell us what your thoughts on the topic are?
No, so yeah, I hold to the reason I say I support Trump more overall than Kamala Harris is because of the abortion standpoint. I believe in intrinsic human value with that type of argument. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. You probably have, but do you know intrinsic human value? Am I saying right?
You mean intrinsic?
Intrinsic. I have a hard time pronouncing things sometimes. I'm also nervous. I'm in front of 30,000 people.
Intrinsic moral value is not an argument. It's a thing that everybody agrees people possess.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Yeah. Okay. Intrinsic moral value.
If every single person holds moral value, if innocent life holds moral value, then why is it morally acceptable to end an innocent life?
So your claim is that all innocent life holds moral value?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Well, that actually doesn't get us any closer to the conclusion that it's wrong to kill a fetus or that the fetus holds moral value. The reason why is because the fetus isn't innocent. Innocence isn't just a property of being not being guilty of any wrongdoing. Like, for instance, if that were the definition of innocence, then a fire hydrant would be innocent.
Yeah, because that's an appeal to legality.
More specifically, innocence is a property of agents or people with a will or people with the capacity to do wrong. So because fetuses lack agency, wills, or the capacity to do wrong, they couldn't possibly be innocent. So you just saying that innocent life has intrinsic moral value does not get us any closer to the conclusion that abortion is murder.
So if I hold to the standpoint that human life has intrinsic moral value just because it's human life, does that change anything, or are you just going to appeal to that?
Well, what's the argument for that?
The argument, it's a circular argument. So like if I say
if it's a circular argument, then the argument fails.
You're right, Dean. I don't know. I just wanted to test you with that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
You don't need.
You're very smart. Everybody calls you low tier, so I want to see if you were actually low
Anna,
tier.
thank you so much for the Galaxy. I don't think that you need to test that on me. If you admit that it's a circular argument,
I test that in like those lives with like 30 people, and they just have no clue what to say. But all right, whatever. Yeah. But what else would you like to talk about, Dean? I am open to talking about anything with you.
I want to know why you support Trump.
Cool. Mostly the abortion thing. I'm not gonna lie. That's it. I would like. It's really it because I just believe that if I hold to a standpoint like the intrinsic value, but like you can refute that, and my argument's gonna be circular. So it's a subjective viewpoint that I think that human life is just valuable because it's human. You know what I'm saying? So like if I'm going to obviously pick the person who in the two sides is more. Do you concede my side.
Do you concede that position is insufficient to justify the pro-life theory?
Because it is insufficient to a political standpoint. Yes.
No, not to a political standpoint, but just for belief in general. Like that's an
How would it be
it's not,
insufficient?
because it's not reasonable justification for the belief. And the reason why it's not reasonable justification is because it's illogical. The reason why it's illogical is because it's
What
circular.
pillar of logic
unsubstantiated.
does it violate?
The law of non-contradiction,
Oh.
probably.
Law of contradiction?
Yeah.
But what's the contradiction in the
I think that
argument?
you could derive contradictions from circular positions.
Okay, can you derive? Can you just because like we're
Or actually, no,
Can you-
I'm wrong.
Okay.
So circular arguments don't violate the laws of logic; they're invalid. There we go. Sorry.
Okay, I got you.
So the reason why that's an insufficient position is because
Mhm.
it's formally invalid in the syllogistic sense, because you are pre-assuming the conclusion as a premise of the position. You're saying that P is derived from Q and Q is derived from P. You're saying that the value of human life is derived. What is going on? I'm getting hit with like a billion bans right now.
Oh, there's probably people saying some weird stuff.
Whoa.
Oh, what's going on?
1 second.
I got you.
Your live is restricted for 7 days due to repeated prolonged actions that lack sustained engagement, such as removing
That's-
off-screen or non-interactive.
What does that even mean?
7 days?
But I mean, I feel like that's not gonna really hold you back because you have so many followers.
What the fuck? It's at mod again. They just hit us with a 7-day ban. Okay. There is a TikTok employee. So just to clarify, guys, my live streams aren't moderated by the AI program. I'm sure that like everybody that watches like TikTok streams in general, like you guys have probably like caught on by now that a lot of TikTok streams are moderated just by like an AI algorithm. My live stream isn't. My live stream is not moderated by an AI algorithm. Only humans moderate my live stream. And there's some human out there that is out to get me. I'm not even joking, like actually out to get me. Let me tell you guys the reason for the ban that I just received. Quote unquote. Your live is restricted in recommendations and search results for 7 days due to repeated or prolonged actions that lack sustained engagement, such as remaining off screen or non-interactive. What the fuck? Wait. We just got another one? Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because your live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility standards under our community guidelines. Reason, harassment and bullying? Another one on top of that? Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason, harassment, and bullying? What? I'm sitting here, like, silent. Dude. Who's doing this to me? I'm confused. I wonder, like, why? Why they're doing this to me? I'm really confused with the first one. I think that their first restriction is the craziest. Their first restriction of like prolonged periods of being off screen or not engaging with the live stream, that's the craziest one. Okay, like that's like clearly not the case, right? Like that's like clearly not the case. Huh. This is really weird. This feels like intentional like suppression. This feels like big time intentional suppression for sure. Oh, and it won't let me appeal the ban either. So so TikTok is basically telling me that I just have like a permanent, like for 7 days, like we just won't be able to like push out on the For You page. We won't be able to like get new audience members in, and you'll only be able to like see the stream if you happen to like be on my account. Huh. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to reach out to TikTok about that. I already did send it to one of their creator managers, but he's out of office right now. So I'm going to also open up a chat with somebody else as well. But I mean, we still have our guest ability. So, I mean, fuck, we might as well just debate him. Somebody in the comment section says TikTok is real. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the right likes to silence their political opponents. Like... I don't know, like maybe I wouldn't like condemn people on the right for saying W TikTok if they restricted me for something that's like actually restrictable by the terms of service. But it's like I don't really think that like anyone would argue that like this live stream lacks engagement with the audience. There's probably not a more engaging stream on the platform. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Okay, let's go to get the next guest up in here. Let's go to get the next guest. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Yeah, this one's weird. This is really, really, really strange. Let's go to get the next guest, Benny Boy, connected.
Hello.
Hey, do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
21.
What year were you born in?
2005, March 29th.
And why do you support Trump?
I do kind of want to talk about that economic thing about the jobs. There was just kind of... Oh, I'm so full. Oh.
Alrighty, moving on to the next guest. If you want to support me and support the live stream, you can find a link to my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in the bio. You'll also always have the handle to my Venmo and my PayPal on the top of the phone screen. And you'll always be able to also find that handle in the pin message over on YouTube. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that the live on TikTok is just gone. Yeah, I don't know what to tell y'all. Don't know what to tell y'all. I'm trying to get it figured out right now. Hey, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2008.
What month?
February.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
Well, I kind of want to talk about like the overdose rates and like just specifically about like drugs in the street. Like a lot of people always talk about like the economical and like abortion and stuff like that, but I like am actually curious to hear what do you have to say that makes like Kamala better than Trump in terms of like regulating drugs on the street and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, the left generally wants to federally decriminalize use of the M drug. And on top of that, further than just federally decriminalizing the use of the M drug, economic conditions would have been much better off if Kamala Harris had won the election. And we all know that when economic conditions are better off, less individuals are susceptible to drug abuse. Not to mention that they would have directed more efforts of Border Patrol and ICE to target undocumented immigrants who are actually in our country to do bad things, such as the dissemination of drugs, compared to Trump, who's just more so going after like innocent families, parents, and just leaving the violent criminals free to roam around the streets of our country to a significantly higher degree.
I see. So I'm just trying to compare like Joe Biden and like Joe Biden's term and.
But I want you to
term.
give me a reason why you support Trump, bro, because so far you haven't given that to me.
Okay. Well, the reason I support Trump is like I was trying to explain right now is because I think that he regulates the drugs that are on the street more than Kamala Harris or Joe
For everybody
Biden
in the
does.
comment section saying that Scarlett's here, you guys are just lying. Or I guess you guys aren't lying. You guys are just a little bit susceptible to misinformation. And anybody claiming to be Scarlett in the chat is lying.
What is Scarlett?
Don't worry about it. So your claim is that you support Trump as president because you think that he's better at regulating drugs in America. Okay. So what's your evidence for this claim?
Well, I was just doing a little bit of research, and like apart from the fact that like obviously Trump is more out there like in terms of cracking down on drugs entering the country, like
Yeah, what's your evidence for that
cartel
claim?
and stuff like that. Like, what do you mean? You want me to give me the articles or something?
I just want evidence for the claim that the Trump administration is cracking down harder on drugs coming
Like-
into our country than the administrations before
Like,
them.
what do you mean evidence? Like, I mean, if you search it up, like, it's out there
Evidence?
online. Like, I mean, if you
Evidence? You don't know what evidence is?
like, I know what evidence is, but I'm just confused what you mean by like, give me the evidence. Like,
You're confused by the
like
question. Give me the evidence for the
the
argument you're
exact
making.
percentages, like the
Okay.
exact.
So let me
of-
I guess let me try to find like another way to word the question, because I've never had somebody tell me that they're confused by me asking you for evidence for what you're arguing. So when I'm asking you for evidence for what you're arguing, I'm basically asking you to prove that it is reasonable to believe what you are claiming. And
Okay,
like
and how do you want me
evidence-
to present?
Evidence would be like demonstrably true reasons that count in favor of your view being true.
Well, I mean, like, I was just like saying that I was researching online and I was seeing that, like, well, first of all, Trump has been, for example, if you know about the whole like the submarines and the boats that are traveling through the Pacific and the Atlantic to America and actually across the world, but especially to America, Trump he's increased the amount of like firepower towards that area.
I don't
to
even know if
decrease
that's
the amount of
true.
drugs.
I mean, take like the
So you can search
suspected
it up if
narco
you'd like
boat
to, yeah.
in the South Caribbean Sea that we committed a war crime on by double tapping it in September of last year. There was never any evidence presented to Congress that they were even carrying drugs, and B, they weren't even going to America. They only had enough fuel in their ship to go to Angola. So, like, I'm not even convinced that those were anything more than innocent fishermen, based on the evidence supplied to Congress.
And I can agree that is awful that happened, and like, but
But I'd also
for
like to make it clear
the
that
good
like
thing,
hitting like a couple like individual boats, like, okay, that's not really gonna do much. Listen, if you care a lot about drugs coming into America, what are your thoughts on Trump pardoning the ex-president of Honduras who trafficked 400 tons of sea drug into America?
sorry, say that again. You lagged out a little bit on my end. Sorry.
If you care about drugs, how do you feel about Trump pardoning the ex-president of Honduras who trafficked 400 tons of the sea drug into America?
What do you mean hardening?
I said pardoning. Do you know what a pardon is?
Oh no, sorry.
1/10 of the
I don't know if you
galaxy.
could tell. Pardon?
So a pardon is when the president lets somebody out of jail and then erases like their criminal record for the specific crime that they're pardoning them for.
Okay. What is my opinion on it?
Yeah, if you care about drugs, how do you feel about Donald Trump pardoning the ex-president of Honduras who trafficked 400 tons of the sea drug into America?
Well, I mean, it's definitely not good, but like
Okay.
that one like pardoning that isn't what I'm trying to talk about. I'm more talking about
Well,
like
what
the
it demonstrates is that Donald Trump doesn't care about drugs in America if he's willing to pardon somebody that trafficked 400 tons of one into this country. And B, you still have
for
not been
me,
able
it's
to
not about what
demonstrate. You still have not been able to demonstrate any evidence that he's been able to significantly reduce the amount of drugs coming into America.
For me, it's not about if he actually cares about it. It's more about if it's actually happening or not. You know, a bunch of people.
But
can
you haven't
care
been able
about
to
it and
demonstrate evidence
they-
that it is actually happening.
Well, I mean, there's evidence online that I'm talking about because I researched it that they
Okay,
have
well, I'm
increased
asking
the
you to
amount of
demonstrate that
firepower.
evidence. I'm asking you to show us that evidence that they've been able to
I
demonstrably
mean, I can go
reduce the
check it
amount of
right
drugs
now.
coming
It's
into
like it's
America.
not like I can go on my laptop right now and find it for you and tell you like the article link, whatever. But like this is just from like what I've just researched on my own time like earlier.
Okay,
or
well,
whatever.
you're just giving me a trust me, bro. You can't say like, oh, on my own time I've researched this. Trust me, bro. Like, just take my word
Well,
for
like,
it. No,
like
you're gonna
I'm
have to
sorry,
be able
but
to give
like
us
I don't
evidence.
know. I don't know that everything that you're saying isn't also a trust me, bro. Like
Yeah,
obviously you're
I
more
haven't
sourced
made
than I am.
I haven't really made too many positive claims. I think that the only positive.
Well, I
claim
mean,
made-
earlier you were talking about like
Okay.
the whole like Kamala thing.
Okay, what specific claim did I make that you'd like evidence for, Mr. Burden Shift?
I don't like remember what you said earlier, but like that's just what I'm trying to explain.
Bro, what? So I want to clarify. When I'm asking you for the evidence for your belief, you cut me off, you shift the burden, you pivot away, and then you say, I'm not sure that I believe the things that you said earlier. But then I ask you for the specific thing that I said earlier. You can't name it? So what was the point in bringing it up? Was it just a attempt to run away from the fact that I'm asking you to demonstrate the evidence for your claim to be true, and you can't, so then you want to project on me?
Okay, so if I can go find the evidence right now on my like laptop or whatever, it's just that like I'm trying to explain to you that like I don't have the exact like amount, like whatever increase. I know that there has been an increase of firepower towards like the narco boats and the submarines and whatever. And what you were saying earlier, how like there was the suspected civilian boat that got knocked down. Obviously, that's awful, but that is a sacrifice that obviously is going to have to happen. This happens across the world, and in the past and in the future will still happen. Where to prevent things that are bad, there will be to prevent bad things. There will be things that essentially do happen that are really unfortunate.
Okay. So how did Donald Trump's war crime on what we know to be innocent fishermen prevent bad things from happening?
Well, what I'm trying to say is that, well, first of all, we have to explain that it's not like he specifically saw that boat and shot it down. It's obviously like the immigration or whatever, and just like that field
Sorry,
of workers.
what?
Not immigration. Not immigration. The whatever the people that control the drugs in that area. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but there is a.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. The point is that you said that war crime was justified because it will prevent a lot of bad things from happening in the future. So what bad things will that war crime prevent from happening in the future?
So I'm not saying that war crime itself justifies the is like there's no justification for the war crime. What I'm trying to explain is that in order for all of these other narco boats to get shot down, tracked down, and essentially destroyed, there are gonna be, unfortunately, once in a while, innocent civilian crafts that get unfortunately killed.
I'm not led to believe that, because if we're ensuring that before we strike any boat in the sea, that we first have evidence that they are carrying narcotics, that hopefully that we wouldn't be striking innocent fishermen in which we have no evidence of them possessing narcotics.
Well, either way, I'm not talking about the war crimes he's committing. I'm trying to talk about exactly the things that
I'm
he's
sorry,
doing.
you made a
to
claim
stop
about that
drugs
war
and
crime.
carrying on our street.
You made a claim that prevents bad things from happening in the future. And then you're like, oh, well, sometimes when we're going after suspected narco-terrorists, like we're going to have to kill some innocent people, unfortunately. Okay, well, A, we had no evidence that they're carrying drugs, and B, they weren't even going to America. So it's like, yeah, if like we at least ensure that these ships are coming to America, and we ensure that we have evidence these ships are carrying narcotics, well, then we wouldn't need those innocent civilian casualties of just fishermen going to Angola. And,
So how exactly do you know?
Here,
Oh, sorry.
and additionally here, you haven't been able to demonstrate any evidence for your original claim. Listen, bro, at this point, it's either you give me evidence or I move on, because I think everybody watching this live stream is quite annoyed with the nature and the state of the guests that we've had on today. Everybody's been not that intelligent. You said that you support the rapist as president who's protecting the other rapists in the Epstein files, destroying our economy and starting needless wars of choice overseas because he's reducing the level of drugs coming into America. What is your evidence that he's reducing the level of drugs coming into America?
Can I have a second to actually find the exact
yes,
whatever the percentage? Okay, thank you very much. So actually, I do have one on the top of my head, and this one is from his first presidency. And so basically, so during Trump's first term, the overdose death was like around 72 to 91,000. But then during Biden's term, it was like in the 100,000s.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
In Trump, the death rates for overdose, the overdose death rates were like below 100,000, and in Biden's terms, it was above 100,000.
Okay. First thing I'd like to respond to, you haven't given me any evidence that in Donald Trump's second term, he's reduced the level of drugs coming into America. Second thing I'd like to say is you didn't give me any evidence to believe that Biden caused more drugs to come into America. And the third thing I'd like to say is it seems like you haven't accounted for confounding variables and you're just giving me a correlation causation fallacy. Like if we could just assume that the president was responsible for literally everything that happens under their administration, Well, then it'd just be the case that we could blame the highest level of unemployment ever on Trump, in the last 100 years on Trump, because it happened under his first administration in April of 2019. Not to mention that NPR has reported on drug smuggling into the U.S. falling significantly during the Biden-Harris administration. Then this is due to studies on the subject matter. If you'd like that source, on Google you could just search up NPR drug smuggling into the U.S. fell during Biden administration, study finds. So I'm not led to believe that you're even telling the truth, but even if you were right, you'd have to account for the first 3 counterpoints that I gave you.
Okay. I see. Okay, well, my Wi-Fi is not working, so I literally can't even search anything up. But yeah.
Your Wi-Fi is working because
Well,
it has to be in order to be on the stream with me.
on my computer, I mean, sorry. Like,
Why
I can
would your
turn my
Wi-Fi
camera on, and it
finish?
says this.
Okay.
Yeah, on
We're
my
just gonna
phone.
kind of move on to the next guess. Why would the Wi-Fi be working on the phone but not on the computer? Like, bro, like I swear that a singular Google search is going to require like less bandwidth than suspended engagement like on a live stream. We're just gonna move on to the next guess. By the way, folks, I have officially opened a channel of communication with 2 different people that work at TikTok. Hopefully we should be getting this figured out soon. For everybody in the chat saying your views are dropping. Trust me, I know. It's because we have like a bajillion active restrictions on the stream. That's crazy though. Even with like a bajillion active restrictions, we could still rock 17,000 viewers. Love y'all to death. Thanks for being here. Rogue Soul, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. I appreciate you, Rogue Soul. Let's get 500 Rogue Soul W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so very much for that love and support. Rogue Soul with a $50 says, at this point, it has to be some MAGA Chud mod at TikTok. Guess it's time to become a chess streamer, LOL. Yeah, I know that you want me to play chess. You made that one clear in the past. Yeah, I think it has to be like some like random TikTok employee who just really disagrees with me. But I mean, they're probably going to get fired from their job. TikTok really does not fuck with that. TikTok really does not fuck with that. They honestly, they have really high standards for their employees. They don't let them slip out of line. It's like, you slip out of line once, like you're done, buddy. You're done, buddy. So whoever's doing this to us will probably get let go after an internal review on Monday. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be MAG, everyone. That would really suck if there wasn't anything that could be done about this. Welcome in, Amira. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
What year are you born in?
2008.
What month?
October.
Cool. I'm going to thank a couple people. Then the mic of the floor will be yours. Ambi, thank you for the $10 donation on Venmo. Says, hey, Dean, I'm Ambi. You could read this out loud if you want. Thank you for all that you do. You've been a strong voice for me and many other rape victims who felt unheard. Your debates have changed minds even in my MAGA family. Thank you for educating us and being our voice. Well, Ambi, first and foremost, I'm really sorry to hear that happened to you. And second of all, I'm so happy that you find solace in this live stream. I appreciate you so much for the love. Same thing to Grant with the $10 who says, I love watching your lives, Dean. Let's go midterms. You help convince people every day to change their minds. You're the best, Dean. You're the best, Grant. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for the love. Same thing to Yasina. Thank you for the $15 who says, as an SA survivor, this week was hard to watch and unfortunately I did have to take a few breaks. Hopefully today is better. Oh, I don't blame you in the slightest, Yasina. I don't blame you in the fucking slightest, bro. This week has been so rough. Oh my goodness. Joseph, thank you for the $10 who says, Dean, could you please wish my sister Lindsay an early 18th birthday, please? She watches the stream quite frequently. Yes! Shout out to your sister Lindsay. A happy birthday. Happy early birthday, Lindsay. That's super exciting. Same thing to you, Robert. Thank you for the $10. And Cody, appreciate you for the $10 as well. To the two of you guys, appreciate you so much for your kind words. Shout out to Robert and Cody down below in that chat. Appreciate y'all so very much. Welcome into Sport Trump. Hello. Okay, they're not here. Moving on to the next guest right now. Let's go to get Bray loaded up inside of the queue. Couple of people to thank over on PayPal. Thank you for the $6, Danielle, who says, sorry, I can't stand the debates today. Have a good evening with your girlfriend and Momo. Take care, Danielle. The 2 people that we've had up today have been pretty bad. I don't blame you. Aiden, thank you for the $14, who says, your lives are honestly entertaining. Thanks for making my day. I try my best, Aiden. Thank you so much for that love and support, dude. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Show some love to Aiden down below in that chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Same thing to Ellie. Thank you for the 64 cents. And SJ, thank you for the $50 donation on PayPal. God damn, SJ, that is ridiculously kind of you. That is so much much money. Thank you so much for the love and support. I really appreciate you. Huge shout out to SJ. SJ with a 50 says, hate that I missed the live yesterday. Hope you had a lot going on. I appreciate you. Just want to show some love. Much love as always, my G. Don't worry, SJ. I don't think that you missed too much yesterday. I appreciate you for the $50. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get 500 SJWs. Joanna with the $10 for a new anxiety pin. Yo, based. And with that being said, we're all caught up. Welcome in, Bray. Do you support Trump?
No, I love you.
Take care, Bray. Skylar, do you support Trump?
No, but before you kick me out, I was wondering if we could talk about
Abortion? Sure, Skylar, if you want to hop back in that queue, I'll bring up if I can't find a Trump supporter, as long as you're 18 plus. Let's go to get the next guest, Jacob, loaded inside of the queue. Here we go, folks. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I'm 18, and I was wondering if you could debate my dad.
Yeah, sure. You want to put him on?
Yeah, I'm going to get him right now. All right, here he is.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Welcome in, sir. I don't know if you're familiar with what we got going on, if your son shared anything with you. My name is Dean. I do daily live streams on the internet where I talk to Trump supporters about why they shouldn't support Trump, because I think that Trump is literally the worst president of your life. I hear that you're a Trump supporter, and I'd love to have a conversation with you about it.
Yeah, sure. Let's hit it. All he said was that you're some woke streamer, so I don't know. That's all he told me.
Right, yeah. No, don't worry. I thought I'd give you the full introduction. But basically, in a nutshell, he's exactly right. I am some woke streamer. Yeah, I mean, well, listen, dude, if you want to tell us why you support Trump as president, I'd love to tell you why I disagree with you.
Well, first things first, I support Trump primarily because of his views on transgenderism.
Okay. So you ideologically agree with Trump that trans women aren't women, and therefore he's a good president. Yeah, there's going to be two things that I say here. The first thing that I'm going to say is that it seems your rational ability to perform what is called a comparative analysis is out of whack. Like, I mean, let's just say that, like, you know, you're right and I'm wrong. I think that trans women are women. You think that trans men are men. Let's just assume that trans women actually are men, and the woke agenda has had it wrong all along. Okay, well, I don't understand how this, like, would justify supporting Trump as president. Like, sure, you happen to have a singular ideological agreement with him, but how does that singular pro outweigh all of the cons of, I don't know, tanking the economy, starting an endless war of choice overseas,
I mean, it's
restricting
not
women's access to healthcare and abortion?
It's not the only reason why I support him. There's other reasons I support him too, such as abortion. But I'm just a common sense dude, and I feel like everyone should show some part of common sense in life, and I think the common sense aspect lies more heavily on the Republican side.
Yeah, sorry, 1 second. I'm doing like two things at the same time. I'm talking to you as well as I'm talking to TikTok to try to get my stream unrestricted. Give me
It's a little disrespectful, but okay.
Well, unfortunately, I don't care if you take it as disrespect. It's necessary for the...
Yeah, I know.
nature
You
of my
care
platform.
more about the money and the viewership. And yep.
No, I care more about my account not being at risk of getting permanently banned, because that's what happens when you have restrictions that stack up.
Yeah, I know, and that wouldn't suit you too well, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wouldn't suit me too well, because then we'd have more people like you. Brainless MAGA droids who vote for our demise because you think that trans women are men. Listen, back to the last thing you said. You said that you think that, well, the right has more common sense. I think that that is completely wrong, okay? That is completely false. I mean,
well, you just proved my point that you have no common sense over there.
How so?
Whatever you just said that I have no common sense, but really, you have trouble defining a man, and you say you have more common sense than I?
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think that I have trouble defining what a man or a woman is, but the reason why I'd argue that I have more common sense than you is because I think that it's wrong to have a rapist as our president. I think it's wrong to have a president who calls for the execution of their political opponents that did nothing wrong. I think it's obviously problematic to have a president
Biden sniffed girls.
Okay. We could talk about Biden when we're done talking about Trump.
Uh-huh.
Trump was found guilty of rape in a court of law.
So.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's go ban for ban. Trump was found guilty of rape in a court of law, and he publicly boasted about sexually exploiting.
Clinton had many accusations against him.
Okay. And I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. Then Trump.
Let me clarify this for you. Like Clinton could literally be Hitler. This wouldn't change the fact that Trump is a rapist and we shouldn't have violent sexual predators as president.
Okay, well, you support Clinton.
Okay, no, Clinton was out of office years before I was born. I don't care about Clinton.
Okay, fine, you support Biden.
Okay, yeah, I thought that Biden was a significantly better option than Trump. And what court found Biden guilty of rape?
None, but Trump was only alleged. So let's get back to the conversation now.
Okay, so you said that Trump was only alleged. That's not true.
I said let's get back to the
A
conversation.
unanimous jury of 9 found him guilty.
Burden shifting. What this is.
You just made a claim.
Well,
how
but
am I burden
I was
shifting?
responding to your claim.
Wait, 1 second. You made a claim that it was just alleged about Trump. No, I'm not burden shifting by
I
critiquing
already know
that
all your
claim and
points on this
demonstrating
because
that
you
it's
spew
wrong.
them left and right. Now, can we get back to the conversation?
Okay, yeah, sure. What conversation do you want to get back on so you could run away from your obviously false comment about the nature of the claim that you made concerning the allegations that it were proven in a court against Trump?
I'll make this easier for you. So we don't have to talk about transgenderism. I know it's hard for you to define the two genders, but so we can talk about abortion instead.
Okay, so just in the future, please don't accuse me of burden shifting, because it seems like you just literally want to pick what we talk about. And when we're not talking about something that you want to talk about, even if it's relevant to a claim that you made, you're just going to accuse me of engaging in some like logically fallacious thing. But whatever. You said that you want to talk about abortion. I'm down.
Yeah, sure.
So what would you specifically like to discuss?
Well, I think it's wrong to kill any baby or any fetus in general, but you guys, I guess you guys think it's right on that side, but
Even in cases of rape?
well, it's nuanced. It's nuanced. So in those cases, yeah, sure, I think abortion might be appropriate, but
Okay, so you don't think it's always wrong to
abortion
kill a
could be
fetus?
open at any time.
Okay, so you made the claim that it's always wrong to kill a fetus. Now you've just conceded that claim. Thank you. So do you just think it's wrong to kill the
I
fetus in
didn't
elective
concede anything.
circumstance? Yes, you did.
Yeah, I think
It's either that you're conceding or contradicting yourself. Which one?
I didn't say always, first of all. I said in most cases.
Okay. You did say always. Now, in most cases, why don't you go to give us the argument that abortions are wrong in elective circumstances? That are wrong in elective circumstances.
Oh yeah, because I think that they should be considered human life at that point, and they have the potential to develop into something, whereas you think otherwise.
Okay. So you're saying that it's wrong to kill the fetus because the fetus has the potential to develop into something.
Correct.
Okay.
Into
What does it
human
have
life.
So what does it have the potential to develop into, and which you think makes it valuable?
It has the potential to develop into human life.
Okay, it has the potential to develop into human life. So you don't think that the fetus is already a human?
I mean, it depends on the weeks. Like, they're viable around, let's say, maybe slightly after 21 or 22 weeks.
So it's not a human until it's viable?
Well, I think, yeah, sure. I don't think that they
Can you
should
name a
be
singular
considered human.
biologist who agrees with your view?
My view on what? That they're not viable until 20-something weeks?
No, your view that it's not a human until it's viable at 20-something weeks.
Well, everyone's going to have a different idea of this. Like, you and I differ on this view.
Yeah, but it seems like this isn't the standardly accepted view in like the biologist community. Like, to make it clear.
Okay, what do you think?
So to make it clear, like 97% of biologists converge on the fact that human life in a biological sense begins at the moment of
where do you
conception.
get this 97% from?
Yeah, PubMed. I mean, because like like for
You
instance,
just have
let me-
this source sitting in front of you or something?
No, it's just a source that I'm familiar with. So yeah, just to clarify, you reject that biological human life begins at the moment of conception.
I mean, if everything goes well, yeah, sure, you may consider that to have the potential to develop into human life, and that's already the start of the process of.
Yeah, that wasn't the
developing
question that I
into
asked you. The question that I asked you was, do you accept or do you reject that biological human life begins at the moment of conception?
The biological life begins at the moment of conception. I mean, sure, I guess you could argue that yes, it does.
Okay, so now I'm really confused on your view against abortion, because your claim insofar as why abortion was wrong is that it has the potential to develop into human life, but now you're saying it already is a human life.
Well, you restricted me and limited me to two answers on that, so I just said, sure, I guess in some cases you can agree
Okay,
with
so
that,
could you
but-
like clarify in the view? Just help us make it make sense.
Okay. So, I believe human life, I guess hypothetically speaking, yes, it begins at the moment of conception, but I believe it has far more valuable once it becomes viable. But you do you support abortions when even past the viability?
So
moment?
99% of abortions are performed in the first trimester. So is your claim that 99% of abortions are not morally wrong?
I mean, I think yes, they are morally wrong.
Okay, so you do think that so you do think that the fetus is valuable prior to that point. Okay.
I mean, yeah, but I said most valuable once they are viable. Don't try putting words into my mouth, buddy.
Okay, so they're most valuable once they're viable. So why are they valuable at all before viability? And why is that
Because
value
they have the
sufficient to make it
potential to
wrong
reach
kill them?
viability, and then they have the potential to develop into human.
Okay, perfect. Here's the question. Why is the potential to reach viability ethically salient insofar as determining that it's therefore wrong to kill that fetus?
Okay. Do you know what potential means? Do you need me to define that for you?
Yeah, no, sure. So I'm definitely familiar with what potential is, and I'm not even rejecting that the fetus has the potential to reach viability. In fact, I'm accepting that commitment. I'm accepting the descriptive
That's
commitment.
step one into reaching
So
your
one
public
moment.
good.
I'm accepting your descriptive commitment that a fetus at that point has the potential to reach viability. But the question that I'm asking you is, why does this then make it wrong to kill the fetus?
It makes it wrong because if they have the potential to develop into something and you're stopping it short, then you're basically preventing a human life from developing, and therefore you are kind of in a
So
sense
what are the reasons that is wrong to do?
Really? Okay, fine.
Yeah, what are
then
what
why
are the
not kill a
reasons that it's
pregnant
wrong?
woman? Why not stab
Well-
a pregnant woman in the stomach?
Okay, thank you for a question. A question is not an argument. I'm asking you for the reasons in favor of the conclusion that it is wrong to prevent the fetus's life from developing. Are you able to grant reasons or not?
Well, it's just a moral thing that you should do.
Okay, so it seems like it's a circular argument. You're basically saying that it's wrong to kill the fetus because it prevents it from developing, and it's wrong to prevent it from developing because it's killing a fetus. So you're saying that P is true because of Q and Q is true because of P. This is a viciously circular argument that is by definition illogical due to the fact that it is formally invalid and assumes a conclusion and a premise.
So
Do
you
you
think it's
concede?
right to kill fetuses?
So you're just not going to respond to the reduction that I just gave you to demonstrate that you've given
Well,
an
I'm
insufficient
responding
account
to
of why
that
you
with
think
a
it's wrong
question.
to kill a
I'm
fetus?
responding to that with a question.
Okay, how does a question respond to that?
Okay, because you tried putting the pressure on me, and never can you ever allow the guest to put pressure on you.
Yeah, I will allow you to put pressure on me as soon as you could either concede your view or give a non-circular view. Like, yeah.
I said I think killing a fetus is wrong.
Okay, but we asked you for the reason insofar as why you think it's wrong, and then you said because you're preventing its further development, and then I asked you, well, why is it wrong to prevent its further development, and you couldn't give a response.
Okay, fine. It's wrong to prevent its further development because it has the potential to develop into a human.
So that's just a circular view. You're saying it's
No,
wrong
you
to
said
prevent
that I
its
would
future
return it back
development
to the
into a
fetus.
human?
You said I would return it back to the fetus.
That's a circular view. The reason why that's a circular view is because because you're saying that it's wrong to prevent its future development into a human because it's preventing its future development into a human. So that actually doesn't give me reason insofar as why that's wrong to do. You're just simply repeating that you think it's wrong to do.
Well, yeah, just like you think it's okay to do.
So are you saying that I also have a circular argument for why I think it's okay?
Okay, well, why do you think it's okay
Well,
to
that's
kill a
false.
fetus?
Yeah, sure. As soon as you could concede your view or give a non-circular view.
I mean, I won't concede, and I did give you
Why
a
would-
non-circular view, but you keep
Okay,
attributing it to a non-circular view to help
what
your
was
point.
the non-circular view that you gave me insofar as demonstrating the reason why it is wrong to prevent the future development of the fetus?
Okay, so I think it's wrong to put an end to a fetus's life because it has the potential to develop into a human being who is capable of being independent and making independent decisions and having its own emotions and feelings.
Yes, and why is it wrong to prevent it from developing into a human being that will be in the future capable of making their own decisions?
Because that is murder.
Okay, so that's another circular argument because
Well,
the
what do you want me to
definition
say?
because the definition of murder is just the unjustified termination of a human life. So in other words, you're saying that it's wrong to prevent its future development into a future individual like you or I because it is wrong.
Yes, it is wrong.
Yeah, that's a circular argument.
Okay, fine. If you don't want to hear a circular argument, then that just shows your lack of intelligence.
What am I unintelligent for? What are you calling me unintelligent for?
For calling me unintelligent for using a circular definition when it's only a circular definition to you because it helps your point.
Could you
But I
like
think
clarify
I
how
think
it's not circular? Could you clarify how it's
question,
not
my
circular
view
to
on it-
say that it's wrong because it's wrong? Could you clarify how it's not circular to say that it's wrong to kill the fetus because it could develop into a future individual like you or I, and the reason why it's wrong to prevent it from developing into a future individual like you or I is because it's wrong? Could you demonstrate how that's not circular?
I mean, well, why can't that be acceptable? Why can't a circular answer be acceptable?
Sure, because it violates formal validity and propositional logic. You're pre-assuming
Yeah,
the
and you've had
conclusion
all
is a
this
premise of
experience
your
in the
position.
past to argue abortion, and you target this circular definition because most people who are pro-life have a circular definition, and you think this is a gotcha moment when really
Yeah,
it's just
it is.
a moment that shows your lack of intelligence.
The reason why this is a gotcha moment is because what it demonstrates is that you don't have a valid a reason to argue that abortion is wrong. like I don't know why you're trying to project that on me. Like I'm not being rude to you. I'm not being
Well, you're not accepting my
incompassionate
answers.
to you. Well, like it's not just me who's not accepting your answers. I'm demonstrating how the answers that you've granted violate the laws of formal validity and propositional logic. Like if you could just say that it's wrong to do this action because it's wrong, and you think that that is you effectively communicating sufficient reason for the belief to be justified, well, then you just have to say that the pro-choice theory is justified because I could say it's right because it's right. Okay, so like clearly that's false. So like clearly
Okay,
we
can I
can't
ask you a
argue with
question?
circular logic.
Can I ask you? Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, after you concede the argument or give me
So-
a non-circular account of why abortion is murder.
Sure, I'll give you what you want. Can I now ask you a question? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think that terminating the life of a fetus is okay because it is not a human yet? How about a baby? How about a pregnant woman who's due in, let's say, 2 weeks? Do you think that's okay as well?
What's okay?
Terminating the pregnancy of a woman who's due in 2 weeks.
That doesn't give me enough information. In some scenarios, it's going to be okay. In
It's
other
a yes or no
scenarios,
question out here. Let me do this to you. It's a yes
Well-
or no question. I want an answer.
well, you're not giving me enough information. In some cases, it would be okay.
What are
in
you
others,
talking about? I simply asked you if it's okay to terminate the pregnancy of a woman due in 2 weeks. Perfectly healthy.
It would. So, A, you didn't specify perfectly healthy, and that's
Okay,
like
well,
one of the
now I
cases
did
where
to
it would
help
be
you
okay.
out a little.
Yeah, elective lethal abortions 2 weeks before birth would be wrong.
Why?
Why would it be wrong to get an elective lethal abortion 2 weeks before birth?
Yeah, or 1
Yeah,
month
sure.
before birth.
Because the greatest weight of reasons does not favor the action, due to the intrinsic value that we would argue that the fetus would hold at that point in pregnancy, due to the emergence of its powers of intellect and its ability to fulfill the necessary criteria of what a person is.
A baby can
Oh, you're really lagging out. Hello?
memory at that.
Oh, this guy
Hello?
is lagging out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you driving?
Are you able to hear me?
Are you driving?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, we're gonna kick the guy for driving. By the way, that wasn't a dad. I wonder who that was. It wasn't a dad. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm kind of over all the shitty debaters we're getting today. Like this is this is insufferable, right? Thank you for the galaxy. Everybody that we've had on the stream so far today has just been like stupid and angry. X, thank you for the galaxy. That's very kind of you. Go ahead and hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, folks. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the ban overturned. I don't know what's going on, everybody. This is really shitty. This is really shitty. I'm trying my best to get this figured out, everyone. I'm trying my best to get this figured out. We may just either have to do a little bit of a smaller stream today because we got our stream all fucked up on TikTok. But you know, whatever. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
March.
Let me thank a couple people. Elizabeth, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat, who says, every human has the potential to be a criminal. Why should we lock everyone up? What the actual hell does potential matter in making laws? I have the potential of dying in my car. Should I just not drive? You know, funny enough, Elizabeth, that argument is completely valid. Miss Icon with the 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you for the love. Huge shout out to Miss Icon. And Borns, thank you for the 20 Canadian dollars as well. You says, to all these trolls, you're weird. Go outside and touch grass. Appreciate you for the love, Borns. Show some love to Borns down below in that comment section. Thank you for the 20 Canadian dollars. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of weirdos on the stream today. This is just, I don't know. Like, I'm getting like a weird vibe from the guests, honestly. Miss Brandy, damn. Appreciate you so much for the $145 donation on PayPal. I want to see I want to see 10,000 Brandy W's in that chat. Brandy, that is legitimately so fucking kind of you. Oh my God. Show some love to Brandy down below. Show some fucking love. That is ridiculous. Thank you so very much. I'm just eternally grateful for you. Thank you so much for the love and support. You are absolutely and undeniably incredible, Brandy. Please show some very special love to Brandy down below in that comment section. That is just above and beyond, and I'm so very grateful for you. Brandy with the, let's see here, $150 says, you rock. Well, thank you, Brandy. You rock. Victoria, thank you for the $10. She says, I'm so sorry that it's been such a crazy week of guests for you. Hopefully you get to talk to somebody with more than 5 brain cells. Yeah, fucking hopefully, dude. Daniela, thank you for the $7 on PayPal. Let's get 70 Daniela W's. Then Danielle with the $6. I appreciate you. Over on Venmo, thank you, Robert, for the $5. Paige, thank you for the $5. Ada, thank you for the 2 pennies. Cody with the $10 says, keep up the amazing work. I'll try, Cody. And then Robert with the $10 as well. Alrighty. Let's go to get the next guest tuned into the live stream, folks. It looks like for the next week, we may just have this like permanent restriction on the stream. I don't really know what caused it. I am frankly like really confused. But we're going to try to work it out. Hello, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you, folks. Alrighty, here we go, guys. Moving on to the next guest right now. We got Ethan connecting. If you want to support the live stream, you can find a link to my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in the bio on my TikTok account. Pin message over on YouTube, and the handle's always at the top of the phone screen right there. It's just my name, Dean Withers, without the letter E in my last name, Withers.
Yo, how are we doing, Dean?
Yo, what's up, man? Do you support Trump?
I do support Trump, yeah.
Okay, what year were you born in?
I was born in 2008.
And how old are you?
18.
What year were you? Or what month were you born in?
June.
And why do you support Trump?
I do want to debate you, but I have one question really quickly before we do that. I've been seeing all the clips of like use of the bathtubs, right? Whatever, pretty funny. I was just wondering, like, what is the general problem with that? Because I didn't like understand what the issue with it was.
I'm just uncomfortable talking to naked people in the bath. So,
You have
Ethan,
a
why do you
problem
support
with
Trump?
hygiene?
I don't have a
yeah.
problem with hygiene, but I would just prefer not to talk to naked people in the bathtub. Is that weird? Or, like, is that weird?
I wouldn't say weird. You know what? I guess, bro. But for reasons I support Trump, I can go with a few for like lower taxes to abortion, but whichever one you want to talk about, we can get into.
Yeah, you're so fucking funny, Ethan.
What?
You're so fucking funny, Ethan. We might end the stream and restart. So I wasn't able to get any help. I on the restriction that I have. I think that we might have to restart the live stream on TikTok. I think that is worth a try. Do you guys think that that's worth a try, or should we just like roll with it? Yeah. All right. If you're watching on TikTok, we're going to quickly restart the stream. These restarts really only take us 10 seconds. I'm not really sure with like the nature of like the restrictions and or bans that we have on the stream. I mean, we have to at least still have like one active. You know what? Matter of a fact, if you guys actually want to move over to YouTube so you could still watch me, I'm going to take like a couple minutes before I restart to try to talk to just my TikTok representative to try to figure this out. So we're probably going to restart in like 2 minutes on TikTok, 2 to 3 minutes. But if you want to hang out with me in the meantime, head over to my YouTube channel. You could find it in the link tree in my bio. All right, we'll be back on TikTok here momentarily. I don't know what's going on today. This is stressful and weird. This is stressful and weird. Right now I'm actively in the process of reaching back out to TikTok. Because the first time I reached out, they like gave me some like really like weird response. They gave me some like really weird response. They're like, "Oh, like we can't help you because of harassment and bullying," but then my restriction was not about harassment and bullying. Okay. From TikTok, welcome in. For everybody who's tuning in on the YouTube stream, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you so much for coming over from TikTok. Hell yes. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in, folks. I'm just like taking like 2 seconds here to quickly try to get back in contact with the TikTok support team. I don't know what's going on with TikTok right now. This is like, it feels really weird and it feels really intentional. Cameron, thank you for the $10, who says you can't call stupid people stupid. It's bullying. TikTok mod, probably. Well, yeah, they did throw in a restriction in there for harassment and bullying, but like, I guess I'm not really even too concerned with the one for harassment and bullying. I'm like more concerned with this weak restriction problem that we have. One moment, everybody. So I quickly have to send them off a message. Hi, I have to low-key lie to them in order to talk to a senior specialist that could actually help me. This video is showing it's ineligible. Won't let me appeal. Would like to be transferred to senior specialist for help. I have to like low-key lie in order to get a senior specialist to help me out. We'll hopefully be back on TikTok here in like 2 minutes. But if you guys want to know the bane of my existence, it's multitasking. I suck at multitasking. I have a lot of skills, and quite frankly, that's just not one of them. It never has been, and it probably never will be. So I can't like simultaneously debate and talk to the TikTok representatives. So we gotta wait. We gotta wait for me to be able to at least get transferred to a TikTok rep who I think could help us. And then once we're able to do that, we'll be good to go. Let me thank a couple people here over on PayPal. I think that we have 2 people to thank. Huge shout out to Georgina. Thank you so much for the $32 donation. Let's get 300 Georgina W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much, Georgina. That is Georgina. Georgina with a 32 says, "Hey Dean, thank you for being such a huge light in my day, even when I've had an awful day at work. Sending all the strength to deal with everybody today. Keep on doing what you're doing. Rise above and spread positivity." Oh, I appreciate you for the very kind words, Georgina. You are awesome. You are awesome. Show some love to Georgina, as well as Marcus. Sorry, not Marcus. Shy with the $20 says, "I don't understand why people join your debate live stream complaining about not having any evidence handy. What were they planning to debate? Feelings and dreams?" You know what? That's so fucking true. That is so true. Oh my goodness, that is so true, Shy. I hate that, and I think that you just summarized why. It's just so bad faith. Like, what do you mean you're joining a debate stream and then you get mad when people ask you for evidence? Lava Lope, thank you for the $20, who says, "Angry, stupid, can't hold a debate. Sounds like the average Trump supporter. Love you, Dean. Keep fueling the extinction burst." I appreciate you. Thank you, Lav. Thank you. Lava Lope. Sorry, not Lav. Love Velope. Very appreciate you so much for the $20. Love Velope. Then Lord T with the $10 as well says, "Hashtag multitasking is a myth, Dean." Dude, yeah. Well, at least it's a myth for me. I can't multitask for shit. I'm getting transferred to the right employee at TikTok right now to hopefully work this out with. As soon as I do get transferred, I'm going to write them a message. And then as soon as I write them that message, we'll be able to restart the stream on TikTok. Oh, man. This sucks. Do you guys think... let's actually do a quick poll in the chat. So I'm whitelisted. I know that I can't get auto-moderated by like a bot or software. There's like a real human TikTok moderator that's making these decisions. Do you think that they're making these decisions on purpose to thwart me because they politically disagree with me? Or do you think that these decisions are being made in good faith? Like, dude, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. They're giving me pushback. They're giving me pushback. They don't want to transfer me to a senior specialist to help us out. I hate that this is the way that we have to spin the stream today. Yes. Like, let me just go ahead and like read to everybody like quickly like the restriction that we're receiving. Okay? So the restriction that we've received for a week is restriction due to repeated or prolonged actions that lack sustained engagement. What is sustained engagement and why do I lack it? I think that is like a way to disincentivize people from like sleeping on stream or streaming 24/7 to like make money in the background. Okay, but like that's clearly not what we do. That's clearly not what we do. Let's go ahead and restart this stream on TikTok, see if things work themselves out, and hop back into the debates. We're back on right now. Okay. Oh, trouble. Trouble. Holy fuck. This is so annoying. Welcome in everybody. For everybody that's tuning back in on TikTok, thank you all so very much for being here. It's certainly good to see you all. We have hit the restart. Folks. Thank you everyone so much for joining. I am trying to figure out what the hell is going on with our account. We are experiencing a big issue. Where we are not being pushed out to the For You page. We've been completely disqualified from search and search results promotion on the platform. They've basically completely shadow banned me. They've said that I am apparently not engaging enough with the audience, and there's something like fraudulent being done here, so now they're shadow banning me. I don't know if we are going to be able to fix this. I think that this is really weird. This is really strange. This is like obviously a very terribly bad faith ban, but we're just going to try to continue and persist through that. But this does make me worry because the reason that they gave for the ban just seems to be completely trivial and baseless. I don't know what to say. Like this feels like intentional suppression of our content. But we're going to just try to host some debates only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. This is really odd. The quality of the debates may be a little bit lower today just because I'm going to be multitasking here, also talking to TikTok to try to get this figured out. But, you know, we're going to try our best. Welcome in, man. Do you support Trump?
No, but I would love to take a bath with you.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm going to ban you just because we're looking for Trump supporters today, guys. Only hop inside of the queue if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. Only do hop inside of the queue if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Welcome in.
Hello?
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
Okay,
So,
what year are you
born
born in?
September 2008.
Okay, and could you please repeat your birthday?
2008 September.
Okay, you wouldn't be 18 yet. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Only hop inside of the queue if you are here for debate. Let's go to get Zach out connected.
Hey,
welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, what year were you born in?
2004.
How old are you?
21. November.
What month were you born in? Okay, and why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because I support the travel bans, specifically on Muslim countries, because I believe that the religion of Islam is evil because they promote being PDF files. I don't know what words you can say on your life, but...
And why do you think they promote being pedophiles?
Because it says in the Quran that you can consummate a marriage with a girl who is young enough that she has not menstruated.
Oh, and you're talking about Aisha, right?
Nope, that's in the Hadith, which you very well know. I mentioned the Quran.
Okay. So here's what I'd say in response. I do definitely think that there are some particularly fundamentalist interpretations of the Quran and the Hadiths in which yield very immoral conclusions, such as the notion that it is okay to consummate, marry, and have sex with minors. Okay. And I think that people who hold on to those fundamentalist interpretations of the religious scripture are also very bad people. But I don't think that that speaks for a majority of people who practice Islam. Okay. Majority of people who practice Islam very clearly have a different interpretation of both the Quran and the Hadiths that do not yield the conclusion that they should support raping children. And this issue of very immoral fundamental interpretations of religious scripture compared to more benevolent non-fundamentalist interpretations of religious scripture is not significant just in Islam. This is actually an issue with all religions. Like, for instance, like there are fundamentalist interpretations of the Christian Bible that yield the conclusion that sometimes slavery is okay, sometimes genocide is okay because of like Leviticus 25 verses 44 through 46 or 1 Samuel 15:3. But the point is that we should not discriminate against all followers of a religion just because a fundamentalist interpretation of said religion is very like morally abhorrent. And we should like rather decipher and agree with or discredit an individual's character based upon their individual beliefs, not like holistically perpetuating what we think would be the true representation of the religion on every follower of it. Not every Muslim thinks that it's okay to rape children, just like not every Christian thinks that it's sometimes okay to enslave or genocide.
There's a few problems with that. So the first one is that this is not a fundamentalist interpretation. So do you agree that there's a true interpretation or an intended interpretation of the text from the author?
Well, I think that if there is, it's been lost in basically all major mainstream religions. But it's not the intended interpretation that matters. It's how it's actually interpreted. Because when you say that like we should prevent these people from entering into our country, well, the statement's not going to be, well, how was the text in which they follow intended to be interpreted by themselves? It's more so going to be, how do they interpret it? Okay? Because like, do you agree with me that there are a lot of Muslims that do not think that child rape is okay?
Sure, they wouldn't call it child rape because they don't think that it's rape unless it's like.
So when I say child rape,
marriage.
I mean what I think would be the rape of a child, which would be literally like any sex with a child because children can't consent. Do you agree that there are a lot of Muslims, okay, that think that a child can't consent under any circumstances?
No, they don't believe that.
So you don't even think there's like one Muslim that thinks that?
Did you not just say majority?
I just said a lot.
Right, so a lot is more than one, I assume. That was silly. So no, the majority of Muslims are going to affirm that children. Great, perfect. A majority of Muslims are going to.
I didn't ask you about a majority. I asked you about a lot. Consent. A lot is just a substantial amount. Like, let's just start with a substantial amount. Okay? So do you agree that there's a substantial amount of Muslims that do not think that children can consent to sex?
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give empirical evidence to demonstrate that it's reasonable to believe that there's not a substantial amount of Muslims that do not think children can consent to sex?
Yeah, we can refer to a few different things. So we can do the Sunni position, which is really every position, but every single sect is going to say that the interpretation of Surah 65 verse 4 is going to be that girls who are too young to menstruate have a waiting period of 3 months once the marriage is consummated. So this is going to follow that anybody who follows the Sunnah and listens to their imams and goes to mosque at least once a week or however often, I don't remember how often you need to go, and pray 5 times a day towards Mecca.
Okay,
Yeah,
so then it should be
appreciate
okay. So not every like Sunni agrees on like everything referential to even what like some of the historically influential imams have said throughout history, or even like current church leaders. Like a really good like example and parody of this would be the like Catholic Church. Like for instance, under the Catholic Church, the Pope is supposed to be the vicar of Christ. the downstream of St. Paul, the current head of the church, the head of the state of as well, Vatican City, and not every Catholic even agrees with the Pope. Okay, so when you say that, well, because you could like name imams in which think that this is true, and you even think that this is like the prevalent view amongst like higher leaders within like the Sunni sect as a whole, well, this certainly isn't convincing that there's not a substantial amount of Muslims that do not think children can consent to sex. And when I'm asking you to demonstrate evidence to prove that that claim is reasonable to believe, I'd be specifically asking you for like empirical references concerning like, I don't know, a significant sample size amongst like different populations of Muslims across the globe. The point is that I've never met a Muslim who thinks that children can consent to sex. And I think that, that's like a very dying, like unpopular opinion. And today we see interpretations of the Quran as well as Aisha's hadith that entail the conclusion that it's not okay to have sex with children. Same thing happened within the Christian faith. I mean, over the course of maybe the last 150, 200 years, practically all mainstream religions, both Christianity and Islam, have distanced themselves away from like affirming that it's sometimes okay for children to engage in sex, or under particular conditions, children can consent to sex.
So I urge you to engage in the Muslim apologetics scene, because what you said was, I'm sorry, but completely untrue. So no, even if you talk to people like the large ones on YouTube, Muhammad Hijab, Orthodox Muslim, they all will affirm that, like we're going to use Aisha as an example because that's the most talked about one. Aisha, even though she was 9, they affirm her age was 9 years old, using the solar calendar, like the Julian calendar, whatever you want to call it. Gregorian calendar is what I was missing. The Gregorian calendar. But she was, under their definition, not a child because she reached a certain level of maturity. So when we apply your definition, which we said we were doing earlier, of how you would consider like what it would mean to rape a child, they actually do affirm that, because they affirm that a 9-year-old can consent because she's mentally and physically mature enough.
Yeah, this is a big blunder. So I definitely understand that there's going to be people within the apologetic scene for Islam that argue that under certain circumstances, children can consent to sex. I mean, I've even heard the argument that you just said. Some of them will argue that she was just like mature for her age. And I agree with you, that's completely disgusting. But I also don't think that that is representative of a substantial amount of Muslim individuals. You know, in the same way that there's plenty of Christian apologists who will argue that like it's sometimes okay to like enslave non-Israelites because that's what it says in Leviticus, and they take a very fundamentalist interpretation of Leviticus that's not representative of mainstream Christian beliefs. And I'd say the same thing about the Muslim apologists that you just pointed me towards. Like, do you accept that there's many like very large Christian apologists, that will argue that it was like totally justified to genocide every man, woman, and child that was Amalekite? Do you agree that there's plenty of Christian apologists that will argue it's sometimes justified to enslave non-Israelites? Have you heard that before?
Sure, that's a tupo que, and I can even say that they are more accurate to their theological positions than someone who rejects that, right? So we're going to look at the Quranic position.
Wait. Sorry. Are you a Christian?
No. Oh, no. For the purpose of the discussion, I'm offering it like a concession that Christianity is teaching something morally wrong. Okay,
so do you think that we should ban like Christians? Wait. Do you think that we should ban Christians from entering into the country?
Yeah, again, that's a tupo que, so I can just say
yes. Can you explain to us what a
tupo
que fallacy is?
Tupo que is a whataboutism. So it's saying, well, I have one position, but what if I compare it to another position? That doesn't disprove my argument on the first position. You're just saying that something else is wrong.
Well, let's see if your logic follows here. Let's see if your logic follows here. One moment.
We'll continue and talk about Islam. So instead, we're going to say that
I just want to see if your logic. I just want to see if your logic follows here. I just want to see if your logic follows here.
Do you concede that as tupo que or no?
No, I don't, because I think that it's relevant to the position as I'm demonstrating right now.
How is it relevant to Islam?
Sure. Well, it's relevant to your position that you think that we should implement travel bans because of the following question. Would you argue that it's a good thing to implement travel bans on Christians because you accept that Christians practice bad things such as genocide and slavery, and you think that it's a theistically accurate position to argue that sometimes it is okay to genocide newborns? Or would you argue that it would be absurd to implement a travel ban on Christians into the country for that reason?
Yeah, I just say that any theological position that says that we can genocide newborns, it should be restricted for travel. Like a
So
country
we
that
should
the majority
implement a travel
follow
ban
that,
on Christians?
assuming that they would follow or that they would believe that you can genocide newborns.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're the one that stated that that was a theologically accurate position for the Christian religion.
No, I said it could be. I said it could be.
No, you said it was a more. You said it could be more of a theologically accurate position.
Amen.
In
It
comparison
could be
to other
because it's
Christians.
the reason I said it could be is because I'm not gonna like straight up deny it because it's a Tukul-Quay fallacy.
Okay.
I'm here to talk about a travel ban against Islamic countries because
Well, let's
He's
test the
my
last
dog.
thing you said. You said if it was true that this is a theologically accurate position, well, then you would argue that we should indeed also implement travel bans on Christians. So do you accept that it is true that that is a theologically accurate position, or do you reject that that is true?
if you want to concede that we ought to ban Muslims from traveling or like Islamic countries, then we can talk about that and I'll take
This
a
is
stance.
this is a part of
So
my
do you-
counter argument against the position that you're running away from.
No, you
Because
just
basically,
conceded to Tukul-Quay. You can't acknowledge
so
that
I did not
Islam
concede
does
that it's a
teach-
Tukul-Quay, and I actually reject that because it's
That's
relevant to the
literally
debate.
explicitly a Tukul-Quay. What's a
The
Tukul-Quay?
reason why it's
Define it, even though
false
I
is
already
because it's
defined it.
relevant to the debate.
Critical listening skills.
You defined a Tukul-Quay fallacy as a whataboutism, something in which is not relevant to the premises in which build your conclusion. Now, anyways, back to the debate. Now that you tried to
it's
knowledge
more
gap me
specific
and
than
you
that. That's
failed.
okay.
You
Well, I
defined
defined
a
it earlier,
Tukul-Quay
and you still
fallacy as a
didn't define it
whataboutism.
correctly. Right, and you have to describe what a whataboutism is. Right, there's another name for it. A
Yeah.
synonym.
Well, the way in which we would apply the whataboutism as it would relate to Tukul-Quay fallacies, you're basically arguing that you have a set of premises in which entail the conclusion that we should implement a travel ban on Muslims coming into the country. The general theme of those premises concern the content and the nature of the Quran and the Hadiths, and because you argue that they include grave immoralities per the intention of the writers of the Quran and of the Hadiths, that therefore we should ban them from the country. In response, you're accusing me of a Tukul-Quay fallacy because instead of attacking the argument that you are providing, which yields the conclusion that we should ban Muslims from coming into America, I am instead rather trying to apply the same general theme to another religion and in response not disputing anything relevant to your argument. Now, my response is, well, yeah, it seems as if we fleshed out your position. You're arguing that because some interpretations exist of the Quran and of the Hadiths that yield the conclusion that it is okay to have unconsensual sex with children, or that children can consent / are mature enough to consent, that therefore we should ban them. Well, let's go ahead and see if we could apply similar logic in other religions like Christianity. So because there are interpretations that exist of Leviticus and of 1 Samuel 15:3, which entail the conclusion that it's okay to genocide babies and enslave non-Israelites, would it follow very similarly that you affirm the position that we should ban traveled into America from disproportionately Christian countries? In response, you said, well, that could be a theologically accurate position per my prescriptions of Leviticus and 1 Samuel 15:3, but you haven't affirmed that it is because you think that it's a Tukul-Quay fallacy. Well, the reason why it's not a Tukul-Quay fallacy is because I expect you to contradict yourself and concede that we should not ban travel from disproportionately Christian countries, even if it is the case that you do affirm that that is a theologically accurate position. And that would be the relevance in the debate, as I'm attempting to reduce your view down to a contradiction. So please engage in the debate. Now that I've demonstrated that it's relevant, do you accept or reject that a theologically accurate prescription of the interpretation of certain parts of the Bible, such as Leviticus and Samuel, would entail the conclusion that in some scenarios it is permissible to justify babies, and in some genocide babies, and in other scenarios it is also permissible to enslave non-Israelites?
Okay, perfect. So yeah, again, I already answered that question. I said that yes, it would be permissible. It would be a moral ought to restrict travel from countries that promote a religion that would recommend genociding babies. I already said that because I'm being theologically logically consistent.
Do you affirm
And
that
hold on
Christianity
one
is one of
second.
those religions?
I need the form to deny because what you're doing is a Tukul-Quay, and
I've
an
demonstrated that
inherent
it's not.
aspect. No, you haven't. I'm rejecting that right now. Your response. You just give me like 3 seconds. So Tukul-Quay is inherently going to include a comparison, and you're comparing Islam to Christianity, and what you're doing is you're asserting Christianity as my belief. Exactly what you said. You admitted to a straw man when you said that you expect me to contradict myself because you think I'm going to hold to Christianity and you think you can show me that Christianity promotes genociding babies rather than attack the actual argument. Because if you can say, and like if I concede that Christianity supports genociding babies, that has nothing to do with whether we should do a travel ban. I'm going to concede is that we should also do a travel ban on Christian nations.
Yeah,
That's what
I guess we'll see.
fallacy is.
I guess
Yes,
we'll see.
okay,
I
yeah.
guess we'll
We
see if
should-
that's the outcome.
yeah, okay,
So do you
perfect.
do you
Okay, perfect.
theologically affirm that it is the case that Christianity says under some scenarios it's okay to genocide babies and enslave non-Israelites? Do you affirm?
Yeah,
or
under
reject
the
that
current
position?
Yeah. Well, as we're referring to Islam, the Islamic argument that I provided, yes, we're going to concede that we should do
Whoa,
a
you
travel
didn't- you
ban
didn't respond
on
to my
Christian
question.
countries. That we should do
Oh.
a travel ban on Christian countries? Yeah. So
Okay. So we should
so
ban.
do you concede that
so
we should do a travel
ban
ban on Islamic
One-
countries?
One
then?
second. So I just want to clarify. It is currently your position that we should ban Muslims from coming into America, and your position that we should ban Christians from coming into America. Now here's the next question. Do you think that we should, if it were like constitutionally allowed, prohibit individuals in our country from practicing Christianity and Islam?
I think freedom of religion would be a better, like a greater moral good than restricting like the practice of a religion. So again, we're gonna say that.
Well, why?
Oh, is
Why
that
would you
funny?
argue that it's a greater moral good to allow people to practice religions and which you think are so detrimental to the state of our nation to the extent that you think it'd be justified to prohibit individuals that practice these religions from immigrating into America? Because, like, my next question would be like in line with everything
Hold
that we
on,
just
it's
discussed.
just gonna be a pragmatic argument, not like a moral argument. So we're gonna say pragmatically,
wait,
it's more
blunder. You said it
beneficial
was the
to allow
greatest moral
freedom of
good.
religion. Right. So
If
it'd be a greater moral good because of
you accept it
pragmatism.
because it's a quote unquote greatest moral good, well then you reject that you're giving me a non-normative pragmatic argument.
No, it's a utilitarian argument. So we're gonna say pragmatically.
Do you affirm
It's gonna cause a
utilitarianism?
greater good.
Do
Yes.
you affirm utilitarianism?
Yeah, that's what I just did. Is I used
Okay,
it
so do you think
as
it'd be
a valid
permissible?
criterion.
Do you think that it'd be permissible to rape a child if it meant saving another like million people?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're sometimes okay with child rape?
Not in reality. That's not a realistic scenario. Or a scenario
Okay,
inside
so
of reality.
I just want to
but-
clarify. You are unrealistically okay with child rape?
Yeah, given a scenario that does not exist in this world, then possibly, yeah. In
Okay,
another
do you
world,
think it-
maybe.
Do you think that it's possible that that scenario could exist in this world?
I don't know. Maybe if Islam was the true religion. So do you affirm that we should do?
Oh, don't pivot! Don't pivot! What the fuck did you just say? I just want to clarify. I just want to clarify that the guy joining the live stream trying to argue, okay, that it is a bad thing for individuals to be Muslim, and regardless if you're a Muslim that thinks child rape is not okay, you actually secretly do think it's okay. Secretly, this whole time upholds a position that sometimes, according to him and his standards, child rape is okay. So what if it was, would you argue that it's a good thing to rape a child, given that the consequence is that, I don't know, in 20 years, 2 less children would be raped because after they rape this first child, they're going to get caught, they're going to get sent to jail, and they won't be able to rape 2 children that they otherwise would have in the future. Would you argue that it'd be okay to rape this child? And in fact, more than just okay, a morally good thing to do.
Yeah, no, we'd say in a utilitarian framework, it was a better outcome than if he did not get caught or whatever, and he did not rape the first child and rape 2 in the future. So it would be a morally better outcome. Not that one of them is inherently good. So that's why you don't understand utilitarianism. Clearly, you just demonstrated that.
How do you determine
so instead
goodness?
Of relying on your two Wait,
Wait, you just blundered. Wait, so you're telling me that
So
the
you're gonna
standard
say I
of
have
goodness?
no grounds for good?
Wait, I just want to clarify. Are you arguing that the standard of goodness under utilitarianism is not the GHP?
The GHP. Define that for me.
You don't know what the greatest
that's an
happiness
acronym.
principle is?
happiness principle. I couldn't remember
Oh my god! Wait. So you're trying to tell me that I just blundered about understanding utilitarianism. Meanwhile, you don't even know what the greatest happiness principle is? Bro,
I didn't know
under utilitarianism, the GHP or the greatest happiness principle is the good maker. If something fulfills the greatest happiness principle, then that action is by definition good. So in the hypothetical scenario that I just gave you, where under your view, you'd be committed to saying that it's good for a man to rape a child, given that will prevent him from raping 2 more children in the future because he's going to get caught and sent to jail over it this time. Well, no, that wouldn't just be, the greatest possible outcome. No, that would be a good thing to do, because the greatest possible outcome is the good thing to do under utilitarianism. This isn't like a trolley problem where we're saying, would you prefer a really bad outcome or a less bad outcome? Because under utilitarianism, the quote unquote less bad outcome is by definition the good outcome. Okay? So would you accept that under your view, it would be good for a man to rape a child, given that he got caught and went to jail, preventing him from raping 2 more children 20 years in the future?
Okay, it's okay. You don't understand what a value criterion does. So a value criterion does not determine what is good or not. It's going to reference a value and determine what's going to uphold that value the most. So it's not going to determine whether something is like a moral good versus something being a moral bad. It's not black and white issue in utilitarianism. Okay.
Wait, so you don't have terms for moral valuation for good and bad under utilitarianism?
I don't have terms?
Yeah, you don't have like terms of moral valuation. Like for instance, under like virtue ethics, given that like you're a Thomistic neo-Aristotelian, you would argue that the black and white terms for moral valuation to determine if an action is good or not would be intent, object, and action. Okay? And then you run an evaluation of the intent, the object, and the action to determine if an action is good or not good under neo-Aristotelian Thomistic virtue ethics. Okay? Every normative framework of ethics is structured in such a way where there is some type of algorithm which you calculate the goodness or the lack thereof of an action. And under general util, okay, the algorithm is just the greatest happiness principle, in which states that some action is good if and only if it generates the greatest amount of happiness in comparison to the relevantly alternative actions. And that's the way that you determine if an action is good or not good. But you're saying it's not a black and white issue. Okay, so then what are your terms for moral valuation under your version of utilitarianism?
What you said wasn't necessarily contradictory, except for the very end of what you said. So in utilitarianism, when we look at the role of a value criterion, it is not going to determine whether something is good or bad. It's going to determine what is the best action. It's going to determine what's the best action.
Is good or bad?
And the best action is going to produce the most good. So if we value
are you going to answer the question? Then what does determine good and bad under utilitarianism?
You interrupted me, and so I wasn't going to engage. I was going to continue, and then you can ask me a question, okay?
Okay.
So again, perfect. So a value criterion is going to determine what is most preferable, and that most preferable thing is going to produce the most of that value. So we're implicitly saying that our value is good right now. So utilitarian is only going to say that the most preferable thing is going to be what causes the most good. Okay, so the rape of one child is going to be more good than the rape of 2 children, okay? Not necessarily that they have much good in them. That's the purpose of a value criterion, which is how I'm employing the utilitarianism. But that's okay. So would you like to concede that we should do a travel ban on Islamic countries because they promote pedophilia?
Okay. I don't know why you're asking me a question. That was weird. Could you just tell me how you
It was the very beginning of this conversation. It was the very beginning of this conversation, which you haven't conceded and you haven't engaged. All you did was try to say that's fundamentalist. I proved to you that it wasn't.
It just seems to be the case that you're running away.
So how do you do?
I just explained to you how you do moral valuation under general util, and then you reject that that's how you do moral valuation under general util, and then you like seemingly like implicitly reject that there are even terms of moral valuation for general util in the sense of determining if an action is good or bad. Okay, so just answer the question. How do you determine if an action is good under utilitarianism?
So I just described to you how utilitarianism functions as a value criterion and good is the value. So you didn't actually understand what I said, but that's okay. So do you remember how this conversation started? It started with the travel ban. Why do I support Trump? So
why are you running? Wait. Why are you running?
Just because you don't understand why I answer, you can ask questions like to go deeper.
Yeah, sure. Could you just clarify in like a sentence or less how you determine if an action is good?
We would use a value criterion to
what's your value criterion?
decide what is most utilitarianism. I said that like 8 times.
No, I'm asking you for the moral evaluation under utilitarianism insofar as how you determine that an action is good.
Utilitarianism isn't the value; it's the value criterion. Goodness is the value. I said
Okay.
this a few times already. Critical thinking is
So I'm
good.
just asking you, how do you, so listen, when somebody says that it's a good thing to give money to the poor, how do you determine that that is a good thing?
Well, we would assign a value criterion, and in this case, we're using utilitarianism. So giving money to the
Okay.
poor would cause more good to, I mean, we could say the poor people, we could, or to all the parties involved. We can go into more depth into what that would be.
Okay, so
So like all parties
action
involved would
X
benefit,
is
or society
so
would benefit.
so action X is good if action X produces the most good.
No. So again, I rejected your terms of black and white. So it would be preferable because it produces the most good. Utilitarianism is
Okay,
a
okay, okay,
way
okay.
that
So
we
then
determine
I'm
what
gonna
to
ask
do.
you. So then I'm gonna ask you again. Okay, so you affirm that it's good to give money to the poor. How do you determine that that action is good?
What do you not understand?
Well, I don't
So-
understand your terms for moral valuation under your conception of utilitarianism. I keep on asking for your conception of your terms for moral evaluation under utilitarianism, and you can't grant them to me. I'm trying to determine how you evaluate and determine your evaluation of an action as good. Also, by the way, Breege, I was going to invite you to come up here, man, because I know that you'd like to talk to this guest. I just tried to send you a message on Discord, but it looks like Discord is currently down. If you want to come up, feel free to, dude. I saw that you had a couple things to say, and I'd like to give you the platform to be able to voice them. But in the meantime, because I guess Discord is down, I have no way of communicating with this guy. Could you please tell me how you determine if an action is good?
So for clarification, you're asking like a meta-ethical question?
No, this is a normative question.
So how are you not just asking about my value criterion then?
Well, I'm
if we have a common
asking.
understanding of what good means.
So I'm asking under your value criterion, how do you determine if X action is good? Like, I'll give you examples. So let's say that your
Like
value
the-
criterion
like
is
quantitative?
like, listen, just listen. So let's just say that your value criterion is like Kantian deontology. Well, they would determine if X action is good in accordance with like if it's carrying out, exercising, or violating like moral duties that you possess. What about under like virtue ethics? Well, a virtue ethicist would determine if X action is good based upon its constitution to virtue or intent, object, and action. What about, you know, a utilitarian? A utilitarian would determine if X action is good, if and only if X action produced the most happiness in comparison to alternative actions. My point is, I'm asking you to demonstrate what your normative framework is insofar as your terms for moral evaluation. Okay? So answer the following question. Fill in the blank. X action is good if and only if ... fill in the blank.
If it upholds the value of like happiness, we'll say. We'll do like a value. So I don't really understand what the issue was. The example that you gave is literally what I told you earlier.
Okay,
We
so
were kinda
X
looked at
action
the-
is good if and only if it upholds happiness?
Yeah,
What do you mean by-
promotes
what-
the value. So like utilitarianism is a
promotes
criterion
happiness?
for us the value. Yeah, like literally the statement you gave, your example of utilitarianism is exactly what I told you earlier. So I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
what the
So your
problem
terms
is.
for moral valuation is X action is good if and only if it produces the highest amount of happiness in comparison with other alternatives. Okay? So then in the hypothetical, this is the reason why I reject strict utilitarianism. In the hypothetical that I gave you, would it be good for a man to rape a child if it meant that he went to jail and then he couldn't rape 2 more children 20 years in the future? Well, yeah, under your terms of moral valuation, you would say that it's not just permissible or the...
It's preferable.
Or preferable. No, you'd literally say that it's good.
No, we would just say it's preferable because it upholds the value.
No, the reason why you state it's good is because if you say that X action is good if it yields the highest amount of happiness in comparison to and with relevant alternatives, well, you would say, well, because that yields a higher amount of happiness than him raping 2 children compared to 1 20 years in the future, that therefore that action is good.
Yeah, like to given the scenario where there's only two options, and we're gonna say that either option A is good and option B is bad, or
Yeah. So would you
option
say it's
A
good
is
for that man
bad.
to
Hold on,
rape that child?
can you let me continue? I was literally about to answer you. So given the scenario where option A is good and option B is bad, or option B is good and option A is bad, then sure, you'd say that raping one child is going to be good in comparison to raping two children, which would be bad. But that's not how you.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. Dude, like, what are we doing? Yeah, see, that's exactly why I disagree with a strict utilitarianism. Because strict utilitarianism argues that sometimes child rape is good. See,
Okay,
I
so
think,
then-
listen, here's my claim. I think that any attempt to morally theorize that entails the conclusion that rape is ever a good thing is a failed attempt at moral theorization. And by the way, I'm just giving you the most standard, the most common, the most typical, and the oldest critiques of strict utilitarianism in the book.
Perfect. I appreciate the straw man. So again,
So
let's
do
say
you
let's say we
accept that
concede.
utilitarianism is false?
No. So again, I corrected you on what my position was, and you refused, and you forced to box me in. I gave you, yeah, if you box me in, this is the position I take. And that's not the box that I live in. So let's even take your scenario. How does that affect whether or not we should institute a travel ban on majority Muslim countries because of pedophilia inside the Quran?
I'm sorry, could you repeat your question? I was texting a friend who wants to come up. God?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So let's say that we're going to abide by your standard or your value criterion of ethics. How does that affect the argument that we ought to institute a travel ban on majority Muslim countries because of the pedophilia within the Quran?
Okay, sure. Well, to get back to the conversation that we're having on the Quran, I would say, A, I was able to demonstrate some massive issues with your argument as it would relate to its application to other religions such as Christianity. B, I got you to concede that you literally think that Christians should be banned from entering into the country. And then C, the point where we left off on before I demonstrated to you why your terms of moral evaluation are literally insane, was you arguing that it seems to be the case that under your commitments, you think that we should ban people from being Christian or Muslim in the country. But then D, you asked me about me and my moral commitments. Well, I would just say that it is the case that under my moral commitments, there are going to be certain ways in which people practice any religion, including Islam and Christianity, that are bad, and many other ways that are not bad based upon the individual commitments to the interpretation of the scripture that they take. Now, I actually have my friend up here. His name is Brij. And
is he Muslim?
Yeah, I think that Breeze. You're Muslim, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Okay,
see,
good.
I heard that like somewhere. I heard that somewhere, so that's actually why I
Yeah,
invited
it was,
you up.
It was in Constantine's live. Constantine's fans keep saying I'm Muslim.
Yeah, I mean, I just believe
weird.
them. I didn't question it. But I mean, now we got you. Now we got you on the live. I saw that you wanted to talk to him. Feel free.
Yeah, Dean, can I ask you
to have
one
a
more
conversation
question,
with him.
and then I'll talk to Breege. So I want to ask you one more question, Dean. So given the concession that we should do a travel ban on the Christian countries, you set up your argument as if I would say no in order to do a tu quoque. So would you then, since we
Breeze,
should hold on?
Check Discord.
Okay, so okay,
God?
nice dodge. So then since you agree that we should do a travel ban on Christian countries, then we ought to do a travel ban on the Islamic countries as well, correct?
So no, I don't
To keep
think
you
that we should
consistent?
do. I don't think that we should do travel bans on any country because of the religious
perfect.
affiliation of the majority of that country.
Okay, perfect. So since we determined that I held a consistent position, why couldn't you argue against it?
Okay. Well, I think that your position is absurd because I think that your position entails that people shouldn't be Christian or Muslim in America, and not only should we ban Christian and Muslims from entering into the country, but we should also ban people from being Christian or Muslim in the country.
No, my position entails that we should have like a moral belief system.
Well,
And Islam is
by
not
the
one
way,
of those.
I actually do have to talk to TikTok rep because I have like a week-long restriction, which is why we have like a fourth of our usual viewership. Breach, the mic and the floor
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah, bro. Thank you. So
W concession.
is that I wouldn't necessarily say that's a concession, but
It
you,
literally was.
did you say you're? Yeah, we could dispute that later. Did you say you're a utilitarian?
Yeah, that was the value criterion I held to. I don't even remember how we got to that, to be
Are
honest.
you an act utilitarian?
Kind of
rule
off track.
Are you an act utilitarian, a rule utilitarian, a two-way utilitarian, a hedonic utilitarian, preference utilitarian, negative utilitarian? Which one do you adopt?
I don't have really a preference. It's more semantics rather than the principle behind it. So I don't really
No, no,
dig
those
deep
are
into
two
that kind of
different
stuff.
types of utilitarianism. So,
Yeah, I know
like,
they are. I know they are.
which one do you adopt? You just adopt like a very basic form of utilitarianism?
Yeah, it probably leans closer to like act utilitarianism, but
Okay, so the action that generates utility. Okay, sure. So not general rules. Okay, so if you think about act utilitarianism, take a case of a peeping Tom where he gets like happiness or pleasure from viewing somebody or viewing women through a peephole, and there's good utility from that. However, it's not the case that they find out, so nobody gets negative utility, and it's the act that generates utility. Do you think that that is something that's permissible? Do you think it's something he should do?
That's
what
a
would be the
really good case
utility?
against act utilitarianism.
Well,
What would be the
what do you mean
utility?
by utility? So let's
What
actually
would
go
be
to
the
that. What do you
utility behind like looking through people? I'm confused. Like, what's the good in that?
pleasure? Pleasure for somebody, presumably for somebody who likes to do that. It's pleasure.
So that's just a presupposition on what we should value. So I just reject that.
Well,
Like,
no, it's a supposition as to what utility is, but that's why I asked you. Well, what do you think it means to say that something bears utility?
yeah, so it's gonna support the value. So again, have to remember what the
Utility is backed
purpose
up by
of
value.
utilitarianism is, which would be as a value criterion. So we
So
have
you
to
know what?
associate a value with utilitarianism. So what is utilitarianism trying to accomplish? So we're going to be upholding and being
Was
able
a
to
normative
decide
ethical
what we
thesis.
should do.
So utilitarianism is a normative ethical thesis, right? It's attempting to adjudicate what you should do, given that you're viewing the world through an ethical lens. So there's three major views when it comes to normative ethics. There's utilitarianism, there's deontology, and then there's virtue ethics, right? Utility is outcome. Utilitarianism is specifically outcome-based ethics, right? So let's just start off with this. Do you know what the GHP is?
I asked him this earlier. He
Yeah.
didn't. I had to explain it to him.
Yeah, I didn't know the acronym, but
Oh, the greatest happiness principle? Okay, do you know what it is?
yeah,
What is
yeah,
it?
that's going to be the value. So it's going to show what causes most happiness. I mean, I don't really know what the best way to describe it is outside of. So like we talked about pleasure, that would be one way to describe happiness, or that would be one definition of happiness. What people, how we can do a brain chemical argument. What gives people the
Wait,
most
didn't he
dopamine?
reject that
I don't
pleasure was
know.
an axiom of utilitarianism earlier? He rejected that was
Yeah, I
utility.
did. I did. My value is just asserting good. So like I'm not
So
saying
what's asserting good?
happiness.
Yeah, so what is the good? That's what's in question right now.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't accepting GHP, so all I said was good.
Okay, sure. You
Yeah,
don't have to be accepting of GHP in order to adjudicate what the good is. What do you think it is for something to be good?
yeah, I was just about to say that. So I'm able to take a biblical-based principle.
Okay, so you're a biblical utilitarian. So you're a Bible. So your metaethics is biblical, and then you're a utilitarian.
Bro, and this guy said that we should ban Christians from coming into America.
No, that was a different discussion, Dean.
You have a single piece of evidence.
Dean can't track.
So I just want to clarify, in the
Dean has a tracking
last
problem.
conversation, you were saying that we should ban Christians from coming into America. In this conversation, you're saying that you are a Christian.
Yeah, because I wasn't like playing your two cocaine game. So nice job.
So real quick, do you think that
That's just a concession of the two coke way. Perfect. I don't know what
there's
you're
a single
saying.
piece of biblical evidence? Oh, I'll say it again. It's fine. Do you think there's a single piece of biblical evidence that points to the fact that the way they adjudicate normative assessment is by virtue of outcome? Point to
Yeah.
it. Okay, what color is it? Point to it right now.
Say what color is it?
Yeah, I want you to point me to the biblical evidence that says that they adjudicate normative assessment by virtue of outcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have to make a specific verse. So there's a passage that if a man harms one of Christ's little ones, then it is better if he is thrown into a lake with a millstone tied around his neck. So this would be in like in virtue ethics. This is going to be like a bad thing because we're killing a
Virtue
man,
ethics,
giving
sure.
him.
Why are you talking about
Wait,
virtue
Sorry, I
ethics?
don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah,
What
I
we're talking about.
misspoke. Sorry, I
What we're trying to
misspoke.
get you to do
I
right
don't
now.
know
What
what
we're
this
trying to
is about.
compel you to do. No, it's okay. I'll help you out. What we're trying to compel you to do right now is to show an instance in which the Bible, or there's some evidence in the Bible that says they do normative assessment predicated upon outcome-based assessments.
Yeah, that'd be the exact example I'm giving. So I don't see the
It's
problem.
not. You can assess
We're gonna
that by
say,
virtue.
yeah.
What do you mean? You can assess either one of those by either virtue or duty. What are you talking about? You can either say that they have a
No.
duty to do so, or you can say that it's not virtuous to do so. You don't have to assess that by virtue of the outcome. So let's agree on this. You agree that
I don't
cases
get it.
of-
Explain it. Okay.
I'll
You
explain
don't
it,
even know
fine.
my argument on this passage. You don't know what
I
this
grant that I
passage
don't
means
know the
relative
argument. I grant that
utilitarianism.
I don't know the argument. I'm saying that I don't take it to be favoring of utilitarian or.
You don't even
evidence
know
of
what it is. How do you know if it's favoring or not?
Because you
Alright,
said that
so
it's
far-
favoring virtue ethics.
That's what you said word for word.
I didn't say it was favoring virtue ethics.
In virtue ethics.
No, that's not what I said.
You know what?
I was saying in comparison.
You know what it means to presume to favor X? Like, what does it mean to say that Y favors X or X favors Y? It's a reason, right? Like reasons.
I was
are
making a
favoring.
comparison. I said
that's
I said
fine.
the word comparison.
That's fine. I'm not saying
maybe I cut out when I said the word comparison, or maybe I
Oh,
misspoke.
okay, perhaps you did. Perhaps you did. But let's just cover this first. Do you know what it means for something to be a reason? Like what a reason is?
Okay. After you lose him here, we're gonna move on. Once you lose him here, because you're probably
Yeah,
also
sorry,
gonna
Breeze.
lose
Once
a
you
lot of
lose
the
up here,
audience.
yeah, in this passage, we're gonna see that taking a bad action, which should be like killing somebody, is gonna actually lead to a greater outcome. Therefore, it'd be preferable if we do it.
That's
So,
begging the question. That's begging the question on whether or not it's the case that it does the adjudication by the outcome. Yeah, we grant that
what
that's
are you
your
talking about? You
interpretation.
asked me to give an example, a biblical example, so you can see this in an example where utilitarianism
Imagine
would
I
be
said,
demonstrated.
imagine I said it's the case that Hinduism adjudicates normative situations by virtue of virtue ethics. Okay, and I say they do virtue-based assessment, and then I give
Hold
you a
on.
case where you
I
could
gave you the
plausibly.
Wait, whoa, don't interrupt him, bro.
Hold on. Do you
Thank you.
concede that I answered your question though?
Not at all. Not a proper answer, at least. I think you
So
might have
this
given
wasn't
one.
an example of utilitarianism in the Bible.
That would be begging the question to update on the fact that it is. You're begging the question on whether or not that is an example where they do normative assessment by utility. I could plausibly reinterpret that to say, what if there's a duty doing the work in the background, or what if it's a virtuous assessment doing the work in the background? That's not to say that it's utility based. You pointed out an instance in which you updated on the fact that it is without actually showing me that. You understand that that's like a asymmetric.
How do you
extent.
demonstrate? How do you demonstrate which one it is?
You would demonstrate it as such. You would show a passage in which there's credence given to outcome rather than the duty or rather than virtue. That's the problem. So, for example, if I wanted to say, oh, the Bible makes assessments on the basis of outcome. They make normative assessments on the basis of outcome, right? Well, I would point you to something that shows that in the event that they ignore duty-based assessments and they ignore virtuous-based assessments, you can still make an assessment on normative ethics. And then I would be perhaps compelled to say that they're doing it on the basis of utility. But you didn't do that. You just gave a case in which there is an outcome, right? Which that's not to say that the ethical conclusion is predicated upon that outcome. That's the issue. You're presupposing that when you update on the facts.
Perfect. So my question specifically was, in this specific example, how are we going to determine which is which? So we can see, like, we can use.
Well, actually, that would be a question that
easy
you have to
reasoning.
answer. I want to clarify. That Breach was like very kind by answering that question. You said, well, how do we determine if the Bible operates under, utilitarianism, duty-based ethics, or virtue ethics? Okay. Well, then he answered that question. He said, well, we just read the Bible and we see if moral claims are made in credence to the outcome of an action, in credence of the duties upheld by an action, or in credence of virtues constituted by an action. Okay? And he had no obligation to answer that question, but he did. Okay? And now you're just going to go on and ask that same question again. Let me make it clear. The reason why he didn't even have an obligation to answer that question is because it is you who's making the claim that in virtue of it is you who's making the claim that the Bible upholds utilitarianism. You would be the one that has to demonstrate an argument for that claim. Breege doesn't have to hold your hand and help you build that argument. No, that burden fully falls on yourself.
Precisely. Even though I gave you an instance in which I think you could show that there's evidence for that, I don't think you did. I think you just updated on the fact that you take it to be the case that they made the assessment on the basis of outcome, which in ethics, right, there is outcomes attached to ethical cases, like moral quandary, right? There's always an outcome attached to it, but it's not to say that the outcome is salient with respect to the assessment. That's what you're presupposing when you give me a case where, yeah, perhaps there is an outcome, but is it the case that the outcome is the fact that allows you to make the assessment? That's what's in question, and you just kind of update. So I think it might be time for you to get sent to the Shadow Realm. It's over for you.
Do you want the verse?
Again, the verse that you're talking about, the word you just.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna demonstrate you. I'm gonna demonstrate you. I'm gonna give you a verse that answers your question more specifically. So you're asking for like a more explicit verse that would advocate for utilitarian.
Well,
so it's gonna be John.
Sorry, what do you think the question is?
I just told you what I think the question is.
No, you did.
Is that not the question?
You think you're going to show me an instance in which you think it satisfies the question, not what the question is.
That's not what I said. I think you critical listening skills.
Okay,
need to be improved. I said, yeah. So what I said was that I'm going to show you a passage that's going to explicitly affirm the utilitarian principle.
Yeah, bro. Try our best.
John 11.
Okay. What does it
verse
say?
49.
Just read it to me, bro.
Then one of them, I'm gonna mess it isn't like Caiaphas or whatever, who was high priest that year, spoke up. You know nothing at all. You do not realize it is better for you that one man die for the people than that whole nation perish.
You know you can assess that by duty and virtue too, right? I can literally show you how.
No, this is explicitly consequentialism.
No, it's not. I can show you how you can assess that. Do you think it's necessarily consequentialism?
Yeah, like in verse 52, it says, and not only for that nation, but also for that scattered children of God, to bring them together and make them one, saying that this man dying is going to have the consequence of
Do you think
bringing
the
that
virtue
scattered children together.
do you think that a virtue ethicist could plausibly make that claim? I can show you how they could.
Try it.
Yeah, okay. A virtue ethicist could say that it instantiates the virtue of bravery. They could say it's brave for you to do X. They could say that it's an act of justice for you to do X. You do not need to be a consequentialist to make that claim. Even there's even.
Oh, so you're running from your own question. You're just running from your own question. You asked for an explicit principle being
That's not
explicitly
explicit.
described.
And we're
You're not justifying this passage.
No,
You're
and
just
we're
saying that bravery is
demonstrating.
good.
What we're
Now-
demonstrating to you is how that passage does not demonstrate that the morality of an action is generated based on the outcomes in which it produces. Brecius gave you an account for why that action could be moral, inconsiderate of its outcomes, but rather in consideration of like characteristic traits, such as justice, which would be a virtue. Okay?
And you said
That
it was
account-
necessarily consequentialist, by the way. Your claim is
that
much
account does not satisfy your own criteria that you asked me.
It does. Wait. What do you think the criteria is? The criteria is that you can plausibly interpret X as either being consequentialist or virtue ethics. But do you know what the claim that you
Dollar
made
block,
was?
that's a concession. You said that how we had to show an explicit example of this being
That's
employed.
begging the question. So it is to say that you're updating on the facts as if it were true.
This is not updating, it's explicitly describing the principle. It's
I'll tell you
saying
how.
that the
We're
reason...
arguing that it doesn't.
No,
No,
that's
the
the point.
reason
So,
is this passage literally says that the reason that this is good is because it's one man dying for somebody else.
and I
Because
asked
the
you if you could
result of one
plausibly
man
interpret
dying.
that as either a virtue ethicist or deontologist, and your answer was
No,
no.
you cannot. It's explicit.
And I just showed you how you could. I said you could say it instantiates the virtue
No,
of
you-
justice, it instantiates
Bro.
the virtue of bravery.
You're shifting the goalposts here to make it broader for you, but I have to be hyper specific.
No,
So
Zach.
the question that you had asked
Zach,
me,
sorry,
don't
you're
interrupt.
just-
You're
Zach,
running.
You're being bad faith, man. You're saying that this verse in John 11 explicitly
Dude.
demonstrates some normative theory of consequentialism as it relates to the Bible. That claim is obtusely false, and we just demonstrated to you how and why that is obtusely false. Both Briege and I have given you an account for why that would be the preferable thing to do in accordance with virtue ethics.
Yeah, are you ready for my answer?
Yeah.
Okay, the answer is that's extremely bad faith because you're shifting the goalpost when it's your turn to give an account versus when it's my turn. So your specific requirements.
Goalpost to-
Okay, thank
What do
you
you
for the
think-
interruption. So you weren't ready for me to answer. Tell me,
Wait,
when
we
you're ready
didn't
for me
shift-
to answer without interruption.
We didn't shift any goalposts. You made the
I'm
claim
trying to
that this
convince you,
verse
but
in
you
the
interrupted
Bible,
me.
okay, is purely consequentialist. Well, then we gave you a reading from this verse in the Bible that is not consequentialist in the slightest, which means that this verse does not necessarily entail consequentialism. That should be self-evident.
Are you ready for me to answer without interruption?
You said it necessarily entailed the fact that consequentialism is true, okay, or that it's the normative assessment or the standard of adjudication, and then I showed you how you could plausibly reinterpret that as a virtue ethicist or even a deontologist.
Yeah, I'm rejecting that. So I'm
Okay,
going to
why?
continue. I would ask for you to let me finish a sentence.
Wait, why do you think
So
that
can
the
I finish?
interpretation where it says, hold on, just answer the question. Why do you think the interpretation
I've been
where it
trying,
says,
but you keep muting me and interrupting me. Do you want me to answer the question or no?
have mod perms, you're just saying stuff.
Okay,
Okay,
Dean's
look.
been muting me. You've been interrupting me though.
That's different from the claim that I've been muting you. Okay, so now that we've established that,
Perfect.
can you tell me how it's the case that you cannot plausibly reinterpret that to say it instantiates the virtue of justice? Go ahead.
Are you ready?
Go ahead.
The reason this plausibly does not entail virtue ethics is because it explicitly goes through the line of reasoning that the reason this is good is because many people are going to be brought together, the scattered children of God to be brought
Begging the
together,
question.
and that's not begging the question. It's explicitly going through the line of reasoning. It is saying that the reason one man dying is good is for the good of other people is because it's a necessary consequence of that.
Okay, are you done? I'll explain how that's begging the question, and then if Dean wants
Perfect.
to take you after that, yeah. So the
Yeah,
reason
I'm sure
that
you
it's
would like to
begging-
run.
No, not really. I mean, we could debate on any panel at any time. So the reason that is begging the question is because what's in question is whether or not this is an explicit outline that shows that the Bible makes normative assessments predicated upon outcomes explicitly. Okay. Then the justification for that is a passage. Now, we already saw with the last passage that if you can plausibly reinterpret it, and the justification is supposedly the fact that it is necessarily such that in this case or in this passage, they are using outcomes only or outcomes exclusively to adjudicate normative quandary. Okay. Now, the problem is that I showed you a plausible reinterpretation, and your means to deny that plausible reinterpretation is to reassert the claim that's in question. The claim that's in question is whether or not it is using exclusively outcomes to make the moral assessment. So then to reject my plausible reinterpretation, you deny the plausibility by saying, hey, by the way, it's actually just explicitly about outcomes. That's what's in question.
Yeah, I justified that to you. So then this is exactly what I accused you of for moving the goalpost, because what you're doing is you're showing like plausible reason, like it's plausible that this could be about virtue ethics, rather than when I showed you a verse that, yeah, this is going to be consequentialism in nature, you're going to say, well, we could say, like, we can twist our words and say it's plausibly this, so therefore it's what I say and not what you say. That's not a fair standard. So I can continue and I can describe more, since it's taken a little harder for you to understand that this is specifically referring to the results of an action. This is specifically referring to perfect. This is specifically referring to results of an action. So it's saying that we ought to allow that one man to die. Otherwise, there would be a whole nation that would perish. That's specifically referring. No, you cannot, because it's justifying the one man dying. No, because you're not justifying it on a specific virtue. You're justifying it on the consequence. What virtue is being being justified here?
Justice, bravery.
Okay, show me in the passage where that is.
Is that an act of justice? Is that an act of bravery?
Show me where it is. That's not how it's... I don't know. Where does that passage say so?
You don't know if that's an act of bravery?
Does the passage say so? Does the passage say that one man ought to die because it's brave?
Wait, I just thought of something.
One man ought to die before it's brave.
I just thought of something. Okay. If it is the case that you think that Christianity is utile, and you've already conceded that you sometimes think it's good for children to get raped, are you saying that both you and God think that it's good for children to get raped in some cases?
I never said that, by the way.
Yes, you did.
You said Christianity is utilitarian.
No.
So
great.
Can you show me a single reading of utilitarianism where they think that it's not good for the many? Like, for instance, if you're any sort of utilitarian, presumably you would sign off on the claim that, well, you would agree that all utilitarian views extend on to saying something like, oh, it's the case that when the greater good is at hand, okay, so if you were to grape someone for the greater good, then you should do that as a utilitarian. Can you show me one utilitarian view that wouldn't sign off on that plausibly to show that it's not coextensive with the claims made in the Bible?
Okay, that has nothing to do with what we were just talking about, so I'm going to continue to answer Dean more specifically. But I'll have you restate that again.
Do you think the Bible signs off on that? Do you think any biblical scholar would sign off that it's ever permissible to grape a kid?
Hold on, I'm gonna say this again. So in the box that Dean forced me to answer the question. Hold on. In the box that Dean forced me to answer the question, I called that multiple times.
This is evidence against your assessment.
Resistance to. In that scenario that he specifically did, it would be more preferable for that one action over the other.
It's not in that it's just more preferable, but that it's good.
No, that wasn't my claim. You told me what my claim was. I told you it was more preferable.
Do you reject that it would be good?
I thought it was good.
Do you reject that it would be good? Okay,
yeah,
why is it the case that it would not be good?
Because rape is inherently evil.
According to utilitarianism?
No.
Oh, okay, so the Bible is not adjudicating ethics by virtue of utility explicitly. Thank you. That's evidence against the claim that you made. That's the whole point that's been trying to be brought to the table.
No.
Plausibly reinterpret all the cases that you give as either
utilitarianism.
Yo, this guy just dropped util for his own reading and for the reading of the scripture of the Bible. You just said that it is inherently evil to rape a child, not under utilitarianism, but rather according to the scripture. This means that you just rejected that the scripture is utilitarianism, and you rejected that you uphold utilitarianism because you think that something is wrong or inherently evil, even though that is not a conclusion entailed by utilitarianism.
Wow.
No, we can make the distinction between like a theological truth and a pragmatic truth. So active utilitarianism is going to be employed in pragmatic circumstances like the one described in the Bible where one man is going to die for the many, or the example where you would rape one children versus two children, okay? So it's going to be pragmatic answers, but we're still going to affirm that there's theological truths that are inherent to the universe. Like
Wait, so you
rape is
first said
going to be
this is a
inherently
standard
evil.
of normative adjudication. Now you're saying it's exclusively a standard to adjudicate pragmatic matters? So prior, the claim was that it's the case that this is how you assert normative ethics exhaustively. You said this is how you exhaust your normative conclusions. Now,
I never made that statement.
That's your normative ethical view, and that's the one that's put forth by the Bible. The question was about normative ethics. Yeah, that's what I asked.
I never made that statement.
You never made the statement that you exhaustively evaluate your normative commitments with utilitarianism. Then you don't think that the Bible is utilitarianist. Listen, if you don't exhaustively evaluate your normative commitments with utilitarianism, then you don't uphold utilitarianism, and you don't think that the Bible upholds utilitarianism, since the standard of your morality is the Bible.
No, the big disconnect here is you're confusing a value and a value criterion. So the value is going to be a universal truth, which we're going to determine.
That universal truth wouldn't follow under utilitarianism, meaning that then
no,
the
that's
Bible
not true.
is...
We're going to have Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
okay, wait, demonstrate to me how under utilitarianism you could think that rape is always wrong.
Yeah, under utilitarianism, we're going to say rape is always wrong because it's never the preferable action to promote the value of good.
Never?
Wait, the value of good. Wait. This is the
That
problem.
would
with
be
you
in
not
the
finding-
case. Yeah, that would be the scenario in which it's
Wait,
never
this is the issue
it's
with you
never
not catching out
preferable.
what the good is. Okay, so this is the problem. There's two things.
That's where
which,
we got to the Bible, which was this. Where
Wait,
we
wait,
opened up
the
with
first
breach,
question
which
is-
is a different question than should we do a travel ban on Islam?
Hold on. The first question is: do you think that the norm of meta-coherence is applicable?
Say that again.
Yeah, do you think the norm of meta-coherence is applicable?
He probably doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
explain
then
it to you.
explain
Okay,
that.
so meta-coherence is just where your first order, second order, and higher order commitments all cohere with each other. So, for example, if I have second order commitments that would adjudicate that grape is not a part of the set of things that's good, but then I have like a first order commitments that said that you should do it, those would be incoherent with each other, so it doesn't follow the norm of meta-coherence.
Okay, sure. So, like, when it comes to act utilitarianism,
yes or
again,
no?
this is what. So then, is my worldview
Do you
coherent?
accept the norm? Then no. The question is yes or no. Do you accept the norm of meta-coherence?
Yeah, let's go with sure.
Okay, so you do agree that if it were the case that your second order commitments committed you to saying grape is not a part of the set of things that's good ever, versus your first order commitment saying that you should do that or you should do X, then what? Do you not see
No,
how
that's
incoherent?
different.
Wait,
No,
yeah,
that's
your
not what
first
you,
order-
that.
So, okay, what is
No,
the
the
first
first order
order?
commitment-
No, let's answer your question. No. What is first
No,
order
no,
ethics?
it's not.
No,
The first order is not a should statement versus it's not a pragmatic
First
should.
order is
That's
normative
your
ethics.
blunder.
Oh my God, first order is normative ethics. You just blundered horribly.
Yeah.
Oh my
Maybe
God,
I
it's over.
what?
Yeah,
It's over.
Breach.
First
Breach,
order ethics, bro.
This guy is a dumbass. Listen, we're just gonna quickly recap your issues, and then we're gonna move
Says
on.
the guy who conceded that we should do an Islam ban. Nice
Yeah.
job. Too
I
quick. You
didn't-
don't know what too quick.
I didn't concede to you.
You
In
don't
fact,
know what-
I explicitly argued why
You don't
under
understand-
my normative commitments I would not make that concession, and I don't
You
think that
didn't
we should do a
once.
ban. In fact, how
You
much
never
money?
engaged in that argument.
How much money do you want to bet?
All you did was a two quit on
How much money?
Christianity,
How much
and then-
money do you want to bet that I did not explain under my normative commitments why it would be wrong to do said ban?
Yeah, you never once engaged in that argumentation.
Yeah, sure. How much money do you want to bet?
$1 billion. You never once engaged with the question about travel ban.
Actually, something a little bit more reasonable than that. $500?
No, I want. Oh, so you're not willing to bet $1 billion? I am.
You don't have $1 billion, and neither do I. What?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay, I think that he's just like up here to waste our time.
Dodge.
Anyways, there was a handful of blunders that you
Nice
made.
dodge.
The last blunder that you made that you seriously need to do some research on would be the fact that you could have universal wrongs under utilitarianism. There's no such thing as a universal wrong under utilitarianism. The reason why there's no such thing as a universal wrong under utilitarianism, especially as it would concern rape, is because the wrongness of an act is always going to be adjudicated in accordance with the greatest happiness principle. So you'd be committed to saying, in a hypothetical, where rape promoted more happiness than otherwise, under strict util, of course, then rape would be good.
Yeah. So just to sum this up really quickly for the audience, he's utterly confused on the difference between first order and second order ethics. He said that first order ethics is not about what you should do, despite the fact that it's literally called normative ethics. So yeah, I'm going to refer you to a YouTube short. I'm going to send you a YouTube short where you can learn something about normative ethics, and you're going to be on your way.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
So thank you for
Good
not
boy.
understanding what utilitarian.
Oh, there we go.
He was about to say thank you for not understanding what utilitarianism is.
Nice. But he didn't know what the GHP was. Good stuff, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Bruce, I appreciate you for coming up, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, no problem. You too, bro. Have a good stream.
That's my friend that wants to be a philosophy professor. That guy was like really stupid, bro. I would hate to be as lost as him. And the thing is he doesn't even know that he's lost. Like, I don't know if any of y'all caught it, but like at the end of that conversation, he was like very clearly arguing that he was not lost and that he knew exactly what he was talking about. Like, he's literally never going to be an intelligent person with that attitude. I've never seen a better circumstance of Dunning-Kruger. That was the Dunning-Kruger effect to its highest degree. Let's go to move on to the next guest, folks. Only opposite side of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. If you're watching on TikTok and you're wondering why, if you're watching on TikTok and you're wondering why we have like a quarter of our typical viewership, it's because we got a week-long restriction for not being engaging enough. I think that was just some like TikTok employee that doesn't like us because of our political views. This is one of the most engaging streams on TikTok. I mean, literally the purpose of this stream is to talk to people. So I don't understand that decision at all. I thought that it was very bad faith. And it's honestly demotivated me a little bit, so that's maybe why I'm not as energetic as usual. Hello, do you support Trump?
Does it Dean Withers, aka?
Let me quickly write up a message. Hello, I got a 7-day restriction from being eligible for live recommendation. I am one second, you guys. My live streams are very engaging. I literally talk to the audience all day long. That's literally it. This ban is false. I am requesting an immediate appeal to have it overturned. Damn, bro, this is brutal. Yeah, this is super brutal. Let's go to get that message sent off. Alrighty, folks, welcome in. Go ahead and hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. If you want to support me, if you want to support the live stream, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in the bio on TikTok. I think that we are getting censored by TikTok, and I'm really sorry for everybody watching. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Somebody over on YouTube said arguably it's too interactive. Yeah, bro. It's like the crux of like the live stream of what we do here is interaction. Like literally. That's like all that we do. Welcome in, Danny. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Danny, how old are you?
I'm 24.
What year were you born in?
Don't put bananas in my butt.
All right, we got a couple of people to thank for that. Thank you for the $25. Same thing to Kiara with the $10, who says, I'm a third-year poli-sci major, and my studies, coupled with the words of some of your guests, make me fear for our country. Scared to see where we end up. Oh, my goodness. Me too. I appreciate you for the $10, Kiara. That's very kind of you. Same thing to you, Rachel. Thank you so much for the $100 donation on Venmo. Holy fuck, Rachel. Let's get 1,000 Rachel W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the love. That is fucking ridiculous. Rachel with $100 says, just because TikTok is trying to suppress non-toxic men. I don't know what the fuck it is. This ban is like genuinely concerning. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's get 1,000 Rachel W's down below in that comment section. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rachel. Rachel with 100. Thank you so much once again. Emmy, thank you for the $5. And Zach, that is ZAK, thank you for the $40. Who says, ask how old Mary was when God impregnated her, and if that was wrong. I think the historical consensus was that she was like 14 to 17, right? Appreciate you for the $40, Zach. Katarina, thank you for the $50. Who says, hey, Dean, I'm curious if you've been able to change the minds of anybody in your family regarding their support for Trump. And if not, what hope is there for the rest of us? Well, I mean, I've been able to change a lot of their opinions. Like my two parents are like primarily like apolitical now, which is a huge step in the right direction. Thank you for the $50, Katarina. Same thing to you, Morgan. Thank you for the $5. Ray, thank you for the $5. And Pat, thank you for the $5. We're all caught up on Venmo. We still have a couple people to thank on Super Chat and PayPal, but before we thank them, let's just go ahead and intro this next guest. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Are you in the bath?
I am not in the bath. I am 18 years of age.
Get the fuck out of my live stream, bro. I'm already dealing with enough today. God damn it. I'm already dealing with enough today. Let me tell you. Moving on to the next guest. We got Alfie loading up inside of the box. Only hop inside of the queue if you're here for debate. Dude, these debates suck today. This has honestly been like the worst day of debates in a long time.
Can I get me that?
This is like straight up the worst day of debates in fucking forever, bro. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Honestly, the debates today have been like so bad that we might like have to like private the VOD on YouTube. Hey, thank you so much for the $2, Charlie. DJ, thank you for the $5. Jack, thank you for the $6. Fateh, thank you so much for the $14. Who says, hey, Dean, longtime viewer, you genuinely changed me from a mindless Trump supporter. I appreciate you for the love. If we do have a channel, I'm not going to read the rest of your message out loud, Fateh, but in response to the part of your message that you sent me that I'm not reading out loud, we do have a channel called like Helping Hands on my Discord. The join code is Dean. I would submit an application into Helping Hands to see if you could get some help for that. I appreciate you for the $14. Thank you as well, Marcus, for... Oh, I already did. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate you. Let's go to get the next guest connected here. I'm trying my hardest, guys. I'm really trying my hardest to get the restriction figured out. This all just really sucks. Okay, we got the next guest, Sky, connecting to the box. We also got JR Rizzy loading in. Sky, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
06.
Okay, what month? Hello? What month were you born in? Okay, this guy's just straight up not here. Moving on to the next guest. Only up inside of the queue if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president, please and thank you. Let's go to get the next guest, Solomon, Rosemary, and Caleb connected. Over on Super Chat, thank you for the $5. Who says, if the Bible is utilitarian, then why does he need a theological moral view as well? Well, he's saying that the theological moral view is utilitarianism, which is bullshit. Elizabeth, thank you for the $10 as well. Let's go to get the next guest connected. For everybody saying debate Justin's grandpa, Justin's a troll. They met up before. But I'll bring him up in case I'm wrong.
Oh, hello?
Yeah.
Can you debate my grandpa?
Is he with you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
He's downstairs, I'm pretty sure. Okay, wait. Before you go to him, can I just tell you, a couple things about him?
How old are you?
About me, I'm 14.
Okay, do you have any posts on this account?
Yeah. It's Taco Bell.
Okay. You could come back after you create a new account. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you create a throwaway account, we'll talk to you, Justin. Go create a throwaway account, name it Justin 2.0, and then I'll bring you up on there. Bro, fuck TikTok. You guys want to know the message that I just got back from TikTok? You guys want to know the message that I just got back from TikTok? Our team is currently in the process of reviewing your case. You could expect this review to be completed within the next 7 days. How is this not targeted suppression? How is this not targeted fucking suppression? They take me down for 7 days for not being engaging enough with the audience. And then they say that they'll look at it and think about it for 7 days? Hello? Fucking hello? What are we doing? That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up, man. Whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's go to get the next guest connected. That's fucked up, man. Whatever. We got Solomon Rosemary connecting to the box. We might be on our backup account tomorrow or something. I don't know. We have other accounts. Cheryl, thank you for the $5 who drops a little hand heart. Appreciate you for the love, Cheryl. Moving on to the next guest right now. Only do up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you. Make sure that you're abiding by and following the rules. King of the Golden State with a $10 says, MAGA's trying too hard. Keep your head up. I'm trying my best, bro. But it just really is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, man. Really does fuck with me. You know, when I get bans for things that I did, it doesn't really mess with me at all. But it's like when I get bans for things that I didn't do that's like clearly false, then it fucks with me. Welcome into Sport Trump, Dominic.
Yeah.
That's a child. Moving on to the next guest. Only do hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you. The rules to join are in the middle of the phone screen, folks. Make sure that you are following them. You just have to be 18 plus American and MAGA. Appreciate you so much for the $20 Scruffy, who says start a GoFundMe or something similar with a lawyer and sue them. Well, I'd have to consult a lawyer first to see if that's possible. And even if that's possible, I don't know if that's really what I want to do. I think that I want to be a problem for TikTok, but kind of just like a thorn in their foot, really. You know, something that they could like easily like alleviate by just treating me fairly. But I feel like if I were to sue them, like they'd just ban me from the platform. And do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
It is Fetus Friday. Holy shit, children, stay out of the queue. My God. My God, children, stay out of the queue. Moving on to the next guest, CJ. I don't see Justin back yet, by the way. Jason! Thank you for the $50 donation on Venmo. God damn, bro. He says, hope this makes your day better. It sure does, dude. Hey, listen, I really appreciate you, Jason. I want to see 500 Jason W's down below in that comment section for the massive donation. Oh my God, I really appreciate you. Huge shout out to Jason down below. Very, very kind of you, my friend. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Hello? Okay, they're not here. Moving on to the next guest, mind controlled. Hey, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. How old are you?
21.
Okay, what year were you born in?
05.
Okay, and why do you support Trump, bro?
Because he's not a socialist commie like you. No ViewBot today, dude?
So true, bro. So true, bro.
No ViewBot today?
Well, actually, we have a view restriction today.
Oh, yeah. They know your grifting has gotten out of control, huh?
No, actually, the view restriction is for not being engaging enough with the audience. You fucking hate me, and even you could agree that I engage with the audience.
You don't.
I'm engaging with the audience right now.
Ad homs.
I'm throwing an ad hom at somebody in the audience.
They know you're pivoting. They know you're not actually engaging.
Throwing an ad hom at a member of the audience, like I am when I call you stupid, is quite frankly still yet engaging with the audience. Even
I'm sorry you could only have 14-year-olds on, buddy. I'm sorry.
Even you can't deny that that's a false ban.
Yeah, go debate the Socratic method on your new account, buddy.
Yeah, even you can't. Bro, that guy fucking hates me. And even he can't deny that the ban is fraudulent. Guys, Justin has to join the queue. I see him in the chat. He has to be able to join the queue. Let's go to get the next guest up here. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, James?
Dean Paul Johnson Withers III.
Oh my goodness, so many children. Please stop. Dude, we're just getting beat down today. Oh my goodness. Hey, do you support Trump?
Soldier boy, tell.
No, man, these debates are going great today. I think it's just a combination of getting that restriction from the For You page. Frankly, I think that we need that push on the For You page in order to get debates in here. I think that we need it. I think that if we don't have the FYP push, like 99% of the people in the queue are just going to be like children and like followers of mine. And that's really it. Guys, for the fourth time, I see everybody in the comment section saying that Justin is here. This is my fourth time responding to you guys. I know that Justin is here, but for me to bring him on the live stream, he has to join the queue. It's possible that he can't do that for various reasons. I don't know. I don't know like all the ins and outs of what accounts TikTok does or does not allow in the queue. But in order for me to bring him up, he's going to have to join the queue. Let's go to try to get the next guest up here. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that does indeed support Trump as president. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Hello?
I got a bone to pick with you, Dean.
All right, moving on to the next guest. We got MAGA Patriot loading in. Elizabeth, thank you for the $10 telling me to ditch TikTok and move to Twitch. I know that Twitch would love me to do that. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Hello? Do you support Trump? Okay, they're not here. I think that we may just end here soon. Just with all the issues that we're experiencing. I think that we just may end here soon. Just because we're only getting children, and I could like use this time to talk to TikTok and try to figure this shit out. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yep.
How old are you?
18.
Okay. Well, your friend. Could you stop, please? I
I
understand
didn't
that.
do anything, bro.
I understand that you're a child and children have less impulse control. Good, you guys have enough impulse control. Just stay out of the queue. Moving on to the next guest, we get Julian loading up in. We might be back tomorrow on the alt account if we don't get this restriction appealed. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. We're gonna go get that next guest up here right now. Dude, Miss Tanya. Miss
That
Tanya.
last guest, that
Tanya, thank you so much for the $100 donation on PayPal. Tanya, that is very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for the love. I want to see 1,000 Tanya W's down below in that comment section. That is TAWNYA. That is so fucking kind of you. Thank you for the $100 who says giving my grifting money. Thank you so much for supporting the grift today, Tanya. I appreciate you. Quite frankly, you are the best. Quite frankly, you are the best ever. The best ever. Almost as good as me, Tanya. Quite frankly, because I'm the bestest ever. That's right. That's me. The greatest president of your lifetime. Donald J. Trump. J stands for God. Moving on to the next guest. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. Thanks, Tanya. We got Peter loading up in. SJ, appreciate you for the $25. Who says just sending some extra love. It's going to be okay, my G. No, things will be all right, SJ. I appreciate you for the love. We're going to work things out. We always do. We always do. Appreciate you for the love. Peter, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
December.
And why do you support Trump?
Mostly because of his view on abortion.
Yo, okay. Yeah. So, do you support Trump on abortion because you want to save as many innocent human lives as possible?
Yeah.
Okay. So, would it be true that if Kamala Harris would have saved more innocent human lives than Trump, then you'd argue in retrospect that you should have supported her?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that claim is true.
Okay, based on what?
Based on a study conducted by The Lancet on the outcomes of Donald Trump's cuts to USAID expenditure over the course of the next 4 years, 14 million people are projected to die across the 6 continents that people live on due to.
Wait, when I talk about innocent people, like when I brought up my qualm about abortion, when I thought you were talking about innocent people, you were referring to unborn children.
I mean, under the pro-life view, like an unborn child would be an innocent person, but there's many innocent people out of the womb,
Specifically
right?
talking about reducing the number of abortions.
Wait, so you're not concerned with saving lives of innocent people outside of the womb?
I didn't say that.
Well, that seems to be the implication of your statement. Because you said it is true that if Kamala Harris would have saved more innocent human lives than Trump, that you'd argue in retrospect that you should have supported her. And now I'm demonstrating that the claim is true even in consideration of abortion.
No, I said my qualm was with abortion.
Okay, then take it back. Say I would not support Kamala Harris even if she would have saved significantly more innocent human lives than Trump.
Yeah, I wouldn't support Kamala Harris on that condition if she didn't take any measures against abortion.
Okay, why?
Because I take it that abortion is the most prevalent voting issue for myself.
Okay, why?
I just take it that the number of people who are affected by it is so vast, and I also have religious reasons for it.
Okay. Do you think that there's more or less abortions because of Trump's policy?
I would assume less.
So that's actually false. There's more. After Roe v.
I
Wade
know what
was
you're talking
overturned,
about. The
abortion
data,
started
like,
going up for the first time
there's
in
just
30
like a
years.
lack of yeah, but there's also just like a lack of cardinality there. I know people have already talked to you about that before.
What's cardinality?
The number of elements within a data set.
Okay, so you don't think that there's enough data to conclude that the reason why we saw an increase in abortions was because of Roe v. Wade being
Yeah,
overturned?
I mean, you're comparing what
Mm.
4 years since Roe was overturned versus a 30-year like downtrend. Like obviously.
Oh,
there's a
you're saying
massive
like it's
difference.
possible that it may start going down again in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, so why is abortion murder?
Well, we can take a probabilistic account as for opposing abortion, or we can take like a normative account. So, which one do you want? I mean, I'll give the probabilistic account because I think it's more charitable.
Okay, well, I mean, when I ask you the question why abortion's murder, I'm simply just trying to ask you the question why is abortion wrong? So I would assume you'd want to give a normative account of that.
Okay,
So.
yeah. Well, the probabilistic account is going to be normative. So I take it that
Okay,
that we
well
have
then you should have
reasons.
said probabilistic account or normative account if they're both normative. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I take it that we should oppose abortion, given like asymmetrical stakes.
Okay. Would you like to give me the argument?
Yeah, so given like a non-negligible possibility that the unborn have more worth, I take it that on account of the pro-choice hypothesis being true and thus rejecting it, as opposed to the pro-life hypothesis being true and us rejecting it, that the stakes, sorry, not the stakes, but the consequences of the latter option would be significantly worse.
Okay, so are you saying that because the pro-choice theory is a live epistemic possibility, and the consequences of getting an abortion if the pro-life theory is true would be a grave moral wrongdoing, but the consequences of restricting a woman's access to abortion if the pro-choice theory was true would be a non-grave moral wrongdoing? So therefore, in consideration of that,
I mean, I can consider both of them grave, but nonetheless, like regardless of that, I still think that the consequences.
So then I'm
of that
confused on
would be
the
worse.
argument, because if you think that it's like grave to restrict a woman's access to abortion under the pro-choice theory,
Just less
and,
grave.
under like the possibility, just less grave.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this reason, due to the fact that due to the fact that the pro-life theory is a live epistemic possibility, and the consequences, if that theory were to be true, are grave, we should therefore restrict women and girls' access to abortion.
Yeah, but I wouldn't merely
Yeah.
reduce it to like a live
Do you-
epistemic possibility because
Okay,
like
so then what would you
again,
reduce
I
it to?
stipulated that I think it's non-negligible.
What does it mean for something to be non-negligible?
It passes a certain threshold in our belief.
Okay, so what level of credence do you attribute to the pro-life theory?
I would say like over 0.6.
Okay, so you think it's more likely to be the case that the pro-life theory is true than false? Prove it.
Yeah, so I would take like a modal account. Are you familiar with like Shelley Kagan's view on modal persons?
No.
Or even I won't even take that. I would just take like a supervenous relation with like deprivation.
Okay.
So
I'm not hearing an
think that-
argument that
Sure,
we
so
can
I just
attribute a
think that-
60% likelihood to the pro-life theory being true.
I think that the normative facts have a supervenous relation with like deprivation, and permutations of goods. And if we take any given normative theory, like deontology or utilitarianism, and we ask questions like, why is grape wrong? Why is murder wrong? Again, it seems like when we reduce these questions down, that we come to sort of cashing out that there's some privation of something. So in the case of grape, okay, obviously there's a privation as it relates to the object of the grape. Object, I'm using that as the person. And then when we talk about murder, obviously there's a privation of like hopes, dreams, interests, etc. And I think that saying that there's a supervenous relation with like a privation of goods or something, as opposed to like displeasure or pleasure, is going to have more explanatory power. That is, like when we look at fringe cases, such as like, oh, why is it wrong to have relations with like a doll that resembles like a child, for example? I'm sure you've heard that reductio. Again, there's like a privation there. Like that's why we say like, oh, these people are depraved or something, as opposed to like pleasure versus displeasure accounts.
Okay, so you're just telling me that it seems to be the case that the reason why some things are wrong has to do with the privation of goods. I agree with you. In some cases, maybe that could be an explanation. Now, why is this relevant to abortion? Why does this make abortion wrong?
I think that there's a privation of goods as it pertains to the unborn. Future like ours.
Could you prove that the future like ours is a good? Can you demonstrate to me that we have reason to believe that the fetus having a future like ours is ethically salient?
Yeah, if a future like ours entails that there are certain goods, and those goods have some possibility of outweighing the bad, and we take it that a future like ours is a type of motor property such that we can talk about the unborn as could have been persons or possible persons, well then yeah, that follows.
Okay. So you're saying that there could have been persons, so they will be people in the future? Is that how you cash that out? And then you say possible persons? I don't think that a descriptive account of a future like ours gets us any closer to like personhood. So what reason do you have to believe that the fetus is a person? And what do you take a person to be?
I'm not saying that they're persons. I said I take account.
You said that they could have been persons or possibly people, but they're not actually people?
Yeah,
so they're a possible person. So what does it mean to be a possible person?
Giving a counterfactual self that they could have been a person.
Okay, saying that they could have been a person in the future. Okay, so why is that ethically salient?
Yeah, because of the flow.
Okay, so then you have a circular argument. Because you argued the reason why the flow is ethically salient is because of the fact that they could have been a person in the future, and then them possibly being a person in the future is ethically salient because of the flow.
No, I said that when I talk about persons, I'm talking about motor persons. When you ask why should I care about motor persons, aka persons who could have been persons, or sorry, beings that could have been persons, I'm saying it's because these persons have flows.
Yeah.
So
why should I care about a future like ours once again?
Because there's a privatization of goods.
Okay, but once
we
again,
talk about-
wait.
talk about
Wait. That's
privatization
also
of
circular.
goods,
So I want to clarify that
about
this is also circular. The reason why this argument is circular is because earlier you said that it's possibly wrong to kill the fetus because there's a privation of goods. Then I'm asking you what that good is, and then you said a future like ours. But now I'm asking you why I should care about a future like ours, and then you're saying because it's a privation of a good. So I just want to clarify. You're not only giving me a circular argument for why a future like ours is a good, but you're also giving me a circular argument for why they're being deprived of that good.
Can you formalize it real quick? Can you formalize it so I can see circularity?
No, I'm just going to use natural language, bro. But I mean, I could just say that
I
I could formalize it in like an easy sense. Like you're saying that P is Q because of true. It's true that it's wrong to kill a fetus.
I need you to actually supplement the terms.
It's true that it's wrong to kill the fetus because
we're
depriving it of a future good. One moment. Calm down. I understand that you're freaking out. You're saying that it's true that it's wrong to kill the fetus because we're depriving it of a good. Then I asked you what that good is, and then you said a future like ours. Then I asked you why is that a good? Why is it ethically salient? And then your answer was because we're depriving it of a future good.
Again, so I asked you to formalize it because I'm
I'm going to give you the argument in natural language the same way that you give me your arguments in natural language since the moment you've been on the stream. I'm sorry that you're getting fucking jumped by a philosophical white belt on your shitty circular argument, and now you're going to try to kick it back to first order logic. But that's not going to work here. Not to mention that I have an audience right now of like 17,000 people. Do you think that the 17,000 people watching would like me to give you a response in consideration of first order logic? Like, no, I'm sorry, but if you can't respond to a counter to your position with the use of natural language, well, then you probably shouldn't be debating in the first place. But I know that you can actually respond to accounts of your argument with the use of natural language because you've been using natural language to purport your argument since you joined. Once again, the circularity in your argument is very, very simple. Okay, you're saying that it's true that it's wrong to kill the fetus because you're depriving it of a good. What's that good? A future like ours. Then I asked you, well, why is that ethically salient? And then you said, because it's a good that we're depriving the entity of. So in other words, you are pre-assuming that it is a good, and the argument for why it's a good is circular.
Again, so the reason I'm asking for you to formalize it is because I'm not making any claims about the structure of the argument, right? So when I deliver the argument in the natural language, I'm assuming that it might not be valid, right? Whereas you're making a claim of circularity, which deals solely with the structure of a given argument. So if you're saying it's the case that the structure of the argument that I'm delivering isn't going to be valid or that it's going to be circular, well then I'd like you to demonstrate that rather than saying it.
Wait, you just said that when you give an argument in natural language, you're not assuming that it's valid?
No, I'm saying that it can be the case that when we deliver an argument in the natural language, when we engage in this type of discourse, that the argument might not actually be valid.
Okay, so you're saying that it's possible the argument's not valid? All right, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's the case for
Wait, so you don't commit yourself to your argument being valid?
I'm saying like it's possible
commit-
that the way I delivered it in the
Okay.
national language, like I
So
might be
listen.
using sort of.
Okay, I've tried to demonstrate the circularity like 4 times over, and you're just not hearing me. So if
Okay,
you don't
even
hear the
if I grant
circularity,
that-
you could go back to the books and like try
Even
to
if
learn
I
more
grant that it's
before you
circular,
debate
even if I
somebody.
grant that it's circular, then what?
Okay, cool. I appreciate you for conceding.
Wait, even if I okay, sure, I can see that it's circular, then what?
All right, good boy. You lost the debate.
I mean, there are like plenty of theories of justification. I hear you always talk about theories of justification, like coherentism, for example, or accept circularity. Then what?
Yeah, that's not vicious circularity. Holy shit.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so if they accept vicious circularity, then they're wrong.
I don't know. Okay, wait. What's the argument for that? Real quick.
What's the argument for why vicious circularity is wrong? Yeah, bro, I'm sorry. If you want an argument for why it's inconsiderate to argue that things can be reasonably justified by implying themselves, then I'm just going to go tell you to hit the books. And what's the argument for that being right? Well, I just think it implies itself. Let's go to get the next guest up here. On the opposite side of the queue, if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, appreciate that guy for conceding. That was very kind of him. Let's go to get the next guest, Todd, up here. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
How do you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I'm
Are you a
19.
pseudo-intellectual like that last guest that's going to use big words but then admit that your argument is viciously circular?
Wait, hold up. My connection is bad. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
bro, don't worry about it. What year are you born in?
Uh, 2007.
Okay, sorry, sir. Your internet's really bad, so we are going to move on to the next guest. On the opposite side of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Appreciate you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. Kalinas, thank you so much. Let's get 500 Kalinas W's down below in that comment section. Kalinas with a $50 says MAGA is the antithesis. Very small child. To everything Jesus taught, the Bible gives instructions for terminations and says that life begins at first breath. And MAGA's take on quote-unquote illegals is also the antithesis to 365 times the Bible says be kind and welcome to immigrants. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that MAGA is the antithesis to good in many senses of it, including the sense of good that we see described by the Christian religion. Wow, guys, I've really hated the debates today. I'm not gonna lie. I've really hated the debates today. Like, we've had 3 dumbasses that were just like straight idiots, and then like 2 pseudo-intellects. It's kind of sucked, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Also, by the way, like, I hope that I've demonstrated, or at least tried to, that you don't need to use like insanely big words to debate. Like that last guest that joined, he was using a bunch of insanely big words, but I was still able to demonstrate to him why his argument was faulty. Okay, because, you know, I happen to be like educated on the concepts that he's describing, happen to be educated on, you know, deprivational harm, happen to be educated on, you know, other concepts communicated by him. But, you know, I'm able to still talk to people and hold conversation without spamming the thesaurus. And and honestly, I would want, you know, everybody else to do the same. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Oh, Kirky Kirk. Oh, no.
Okay. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA, please and thank you. Let's go to get the next guest, Sophie, up.
Did me.
Hey, do you support Trump? Lit. We're going to have to get you up here next, bro. You're the next to make an appearance one of these days, just by the way. On the opposite side of the queue, if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you. I'd really appreciate it so much if you guys could do your very best to follow the rules. one of these days, Lit. Alrighty, guys. Trying to find that next guest right now. Obviously, the restriction has not yet been overturned, unfortunately. I don't know what to do about that. We're probably going to be live really late tomorrow. Sky, I appreciate you for the $11 donation on Venmo. That's very kind of you. Jason, thank you for the $20. Who says second Jason of the day to donate, but it's my first dono to you ever, so I'm so excited. Much love from Denver. Love what you do out here. Well, I appreciate you for the $20, Jason. Thank you so much for the love, man. You're awesome. Appreciate you. As well as you, shout out to Mad Scramble for the $10. I do really appreciate you so much as well. Solomon with the $10 says there's a trend of you getting banned by TikTok and them saying it will take precisely the same amount of time as a ban period to litigate. I know, bro. We've seen that before, Solomon. On God, dude. On God. All right, guys. We're actually going to be hopping off here soon. We probably have like another guest before we end. We're just going to end early today because I do have places to be. And further yet, on top of that, like, bro, this like stream is shit. Like, we have a restriction. We fucking have like a quarter of the typical audience that we do, making it really hard to find debates because like the vast majority of people in the queue are children.
Yo, Dean.
What's up, man? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
21.
What year were you born in?
05.
All right, what month?
August.
Okay, and why do you support Trump, bro?
I mean, he's just like, whenever he was president last time, he helped with the prices of houses.
Okay, by doing what?
He hasn't really done that this time.
Okay, well, if he's not doing it this time, and in fact, he's like literally saying that he wants to actively increase the pricing of houses.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, he said that he wants to make, the pricing of houses more expensive, so then homeowners can build more equity in their property.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. That is gonna suck.
So is that maybe a reason to not support Trump?
That's
Just
one.
thinking of the
Yeah.
galaxy.
I guess.
Are you actually 21, bro?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I have a question. Why is Trump? Why is the fact that Trump is a violent sexual predator not enough to stop supporting him?
That's a tough one.
Okay, so answer it.
I don't think I can, Mr. Dean. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think that's definitely a kid. I think that is definitely a kid. Sorry, guys, I'm back. I meant to unplug the microphone. Had to quickly talk about something. We're going to move on to the next guest here. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I really hope that nobody like knows how to like read mouths because that would be terrible. I really hope that nobody knows how to read lips because that would just be so bad, bro. That'd just be so bad, bro. That'd just be so fucking embarrassing. Robert, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
We are Dean Weather.
Banned. Moving on. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president, please and thank you. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Nah.
Okay, banned. Moving on to the next guest. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Moving on to the next guest right now. Moving on to the next guest right here. We got Sadie loading up inside of the box. Okay, let's go to get the next guest connected. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Everybody in the chat saying somebody read his lips. It wasn't like anything bad. So if somebody can do it, feel free to. It's just pretty funny. Justin, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how do you? You're in the bath. Get the fuck out of my stream. You're banned. Moving on to the next guest right now. Quite frankly, we got MAGA King joining up.
Hello, Dean.
Hello, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
18.
Okay. People on YouTube are saying that they still can't hear me. Okay, that's like a you guys issue. What year were you born in?
2007.
And why do you support Trump?
I think that is large scale illegal immigration, and like his immigration processes. I think they are really good.
Yeah, would you explain to me how deporting 14 million people won't like fuck up the economy?
Well, I
Let's
think
debate that claim. Debate like deporting 14 million people is bad for the economy. Do you accept or reject that claim?
I reject it.
Okay. Why?
Well, you know, a lot of illegal immigrants live in households that
Think of the galaxy.
they take like welfare, but like you gotta think about it like this, like, you know, like welfare and stuff like that. They get more welfare and like these, you know, than more than they pay their taxes.
Do you have evidence of this?
Well,
Bob, thank you for the
like,
14 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat. Appreciate you.
I'm not really like at the top of my head. But
Okay.
you could look it up and you could see.
Okay, well, when you look it up, you actually find out that they pay over $100 billion in taxes per year on the federal, state, and local level. Not to mention their $1.1 through $1.7 trillion contributions to the GDP annually. But we don't learn that they take more out on welfare. We actually learn that they're going to possibly take more out on welfare because they can't receive a single federal benefit per the Reconciliation Act in 1996 that prohibited and banned non-citizens from receiving federal systems of benefit. They have limited benefits in like 10 over 50 states, but overwhelmingly they pay significantly more in taxes than they receive in benefits.
Well, I could agree with you on that, but there's
Why
like
would you
something.
agree with me on that? Aren't you just arguing that you actually can't
Well,
agree with me on that?
well,
And
like,
the
you, like, changed
and
my
the
mind.
fact
You,
that
like-
you can. Oh, okay, I changed your mind.
Yeah, like I'm like saying you like changed my mind on that.
Okay,
But there's
all
like
right.
other things that like I agree. Like now that I agree with you that like some things
Mm-hmm.
are bad with it and some things are good with it.
Okay, so what's good?
Like,
So what's
I think
good with
the-
mass deportation? Tell me.
Like the labor market effects of it.
Okay, I actually think that has drastic effects on the labor market. The U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis tells us that immigrants increase wages in lower skilled labor groups by 1 to 2% annually. Not to mention that when we forcefully expel close to 8 million of our laborers and 14 million of our consumers, we are not only reducing the productive capacities of our suppliers on the supply side, but also on the demand side. It just makes American companies significantly less effective, slows GDP growth, slows innovation, slows investment, and slows overall economic prosperity, which is maybe one of the variables that has caused the economy to plateau since the start of Trump's second administration. I mean, we went from adding 2.2 million jobs per year under Biden in 2024 to now like losing jobs. Like last month, the report came out today that we literally lost 24,000 jobs.
Really?
Yeah, that came out today.
Dang. I mean, well, what about the crime? What do you think about like? I think
What about crime? According to PNAS, undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes and 4 times less likely to commit non-violent crimes compared to U.S. citizens. Somebody in the chat says, "Dean, chill on the geek, bro." That's actually what I was talking to my girlfriend about. I haven't had it for like 3 hours, so I'm lucky fiending. Go ahead.
Yo, he doesn't vape, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got me. I can't lie.
Okay,
Yeah, good job.
fantastic. Now, talking about crime. Do you want to talk about the fact that the president you support is a violent criminal?
Not really. I think he's not.
Okay. Well, the courts say otherwise. A court ruled that he raped a woman, and that verdict was upheld by the 6-3 conservative-leaning Supreme Court.
That was AI.
Okay. Yeah, I could just say shit too, bro. If we just want to like produce like random words with our mouth, like I could do that too.
Yeah, bro, you have a good day. Good job, bro. Good.
The restriction is still not lifted. Today's stream was just killed by that restriction. And the bad part is it's going to be in effect for the next 6 days. Folks, when you leave the stream, make sure to follow at DNCD, and we're probably going to be on there tomorrow. If you want to support the stream, if you want to support us in our fight against this, what seems to be intentional suppression from some idiots at TikTok, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in the bio on my TikTok account, pin message on the YouTube stream, and the handle's always right there at the top of the phone screen too. It's just my name, Dean Withers, without the letter E in my last name, Withers. Tino, appreciate you for that galaxy, my friend. Appreciate you for that galaxy. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box. Only hop inside of the queue if you are here for debate. Only hop inside of the queue if you are here for debate. This is probably going to be the last guest of the day. Sadie, in order for me to let you up, you got to take your account off private. Thank you for the Galaxy Maddie. You know what? Why don't I actually just go ahead and get my alt account up on the stream right now, since I happen to be on it for my phone. Just so you guys can hit that follow button if you haven't already. I'll just let it sit in the box for the rest of the day. Hit the follow button on it for sure. Hit the follow button on it for sure. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I tried to join the queue, but it wouldn't let me because it's full. That's fine. Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Mute. Perfect. All right. You guys will see my second account at the bottom right-hand corner of that phone screen. Hit that follow button. On it indeed. Let's go to get the next guest, Skylar, connected to the live stream. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Super Chat. The goat Daniel, who says, "Yo, Dean, I love you. Please shout out my account, Daniel M." Yo, shout out Daniel M. Hell yeah. Welcome to
Hi,
Sport
Dean.
Trump.
Yes,
How old are you, Skylar?
I'm 19. I was
And why
born
do you
in
support-
2006.
And why do you support Trump, Skylar?
I support gun rights.
Okay, well, I do too, some of the times. So I don't think that just saying like you support some gun rights is sufficient to say that you support Trump. Are you like a 2A absolutist?
I'm not a huge political person in general.
Yeah.
But I know that by most of the things that I believe in are more on Trump's support, I
mean,
guess.
Yeah. Let's do this. What specific gun rights of yours do you think that Trump is protecting that the Democrats would try to take away?
I guess just having guns in general. I've been told that that they were trying to take away gun rights, and I don't believe that's a thing. I don't think that's
listen, like the
something
left
that should happen.
The left wants to take away like some gun rights, okay? Like your right to like own like a fully automatic fucking quad like machine gun that could shoot 60,000 rounds every 60 seconds. Like, yeah, they want to take that away. Okay, the left also wants to take like other gun rights away. Like maybe like they
I
don't
feel
want you to be
like
able
I
to,
feel like we should have. Go ahead.
maybe they don't want you to be able to like buy and own an RPG. They definitely want to restrict other things. Like like if you want a suppressor, they want to make it like difficult for you to get a suppressor, like by going through a bunch of background checks. They also just want like common sense gun reform, like universal background checks in all 50 states, mandatory waiting periods, and other effective forms of gun policy and regulation, which have been demonstrated to significantly reduce the level of gun deaths. I mean, Everytown Gun Research has done a lot of studies on this. I mean, if you go to Everytown Gun Research and their website, I mean, it'll straight up show you how much gun control every state in America has and what their gun deaths per 100,000 residents are. And I mean, the data is clear. The more gun control a state has, the less gun deaths that they have per 100,000 residents. I mean, I think that all like you or I should be concerned with, well, is what do we need for self-defense? Okay? And the Democrats don't want to take away what you need for self-defense. They don't want to take away handguns. They don't want to take away shotguns. They don't want to take away particular rifles. Okay? So I mean, I just don't really see like anything here that the Democratic Party is advocating for that'd be like unfair, unjust gun reform and regulation to ensure that we have like less children dying at the hand of guns, because you know we have over one mass shooting per day in this country, and the leading cause of death in our youth is gun violence. So clearly something needs to be done about it.
Absolutely, and I completely agree with that. I feel like people need to. I feel like we need to have more laws on gun rights, but I also feel like when people get guns, they need to, if it's their first time owning a gun, they need to have safes for guns, especially if they have children, or children with mental illnesses.
It's already like, so like, how about this? What's the specific gun reform policy that the left is advocating for that you disagree with? Oh, she left. Okay, whatever. Damn, this might be like the worst stream ever. Like low key. This might be like the worst stream ever, I'm not gonna lie. I think like this is gonna go down in the books as like the most boring Dean stream ever. Fuck. Hey, do you support Trump?
Hello. Yes, I do.
Okay, bro, could you get out of the bath, please?
I'm not in the bath.
I'm not in the bath. I'm not in the bath. I'm not in the bath. I'm not in the bath. I'm not in the bath. Hello, do you support Trump?
Oh.
Bananas in my butt.
No, don't.
Okay. We're probably going to try with one more guest before we hop off for the day. Hello, do you support Trump? No. Thank you. I think that we're just going to do a Q&A here for a couple minutes, folks, and then we're going to head off. If you haven't already, make sure that you hit the follow button on the account in the bottom right-hand corner. That's going to be my backup account, DNC Dean. Yeah, fuck, the stream today was fucked. The stream today was fucked, everybody. Oh my goodness gracious, the stream today was fucked. We got hit with a really bad ban. Scarlet, thank you for the diamond gym gun. We got hit with a really bad ban. That was shitty. Really, really, really bad ban today. No push out in the algorithm for the next week. If we don't get that fixed, I mean, we're going to be on the second account for the next week. And every person that talked to us was just shitty, dude. I don't even know what to say. It was like every person. Demi, I appreciate you for the $15 in Venmo. Says, so sorry for the complete turn of topics, but have you seen the major events timelines on the White House's website? Isn't it odd how all of the petty things on that list, the assassination attempt on Trump, isn't there? Anyways, keep on being a badass, Dean. No, I've not heard of that, but that is odd that they want to include that on their event timeline. Matt, thank you for the 14 Australian dollars. Who says, keep up the great work, Dean, and can you please shout out the person who does your VOD timestamps? I actually did at the beginning of this stream, funny enough. It's funny that you say that, Matt. I did that earlier today. Everyone in the chat's begging for piano. Unfortunately, I don't have time to do piano. I don't know. I thought that a Q&A would be more engaging. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I thought that a Q&A would be more engaging. Let's see. Somebody says in the chat that they are here this whole time. Oh, geez, that's crazy. Been here for 3.5 hours. GG's. Nabil says, you should have no guns like Canada, Dean. I don't know about that. I don't know about no guns. I think that like some gun ownership should be permitted in certain circumstances for necessary home and self-defense. Like if I didn't have self-defense firearms in the position that I'm in, I would feel very unsafe, very unsafe. So I'm not sure about no guns. But I do think that you should have to be licensed to get any gun. Like if you need a license to drive a vehicle because they can be used as deadly weapons, okay, well then you should definitely need a license to own a gun because they're designed and intended to be deadly weapons. Somebody in the chat says, are you Christian? I'm agnostic, but I really like talking about Christianity. What are the exact gun ban restrictions you agree/disagree with? So my basic principle is that firearms that are not reasonably necessary for home and or self-defense should be banned. And firearms that are reasonably necessary for home/self-defense should be regulated with licensing, universal background checks, red flag laws, mandatory waiting periods, and sufficient state oversight to ensure less gun deaths. Like the ATF requires fingerprints to buy certain NFA items like suppressors or short barrel rifles. I think that we should generally require fingerprints for the purchase of all guns. The ATF also does a highlighted background check that's a little bit more advanced than the typical one you do when you buy a gun through the FBI. It's like the NIICS or something like that. It's an automatic universal background check. I think that they should do that for any gun purchase and also require fingerprints. And that's like my basic view. It should be like really difficult. It should be really difficult to get a gun in my opinion. Like I got a suppressor for my 9mm pistol because unfortunately I expect to have to use it in home defense scenarios at some point in the future based on like the level of threats that I get, and I just wanted to be prepared for that and not like destroy my eardrums. So I got a suppressor, and like that was very difficult to get. And I think that all guns should be just as difficult to get. Andre, thank you so much for the $15 on PayPal. He says, happy debating. Appreciate you, Andre. It's very kind of you. Same thing to you, Emily. Thank you for the $5. And Danae, thank you so much for the $30 donation on PayPal. Who says, love hearing actual sense spoken on politics. Have heard you say several times that if somebody's on life support, they're having their blood oxidized. It's oxygenated. I don't believe oxidized blood would be compatible with any form of life. Wow, you're actually right. That is a huge blunder on my part. It is oxygenated. I don't know where I get oxidized from. Sorry, I'm a dumbass for that one. Good critique. Suzanne, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you. And then Amara, thank you for the $24 who asked me to keep their message to myself. I sure will. I'll keep that to myself, Amara. Thank you for the $24. All right, guys. That's it from us for the day. Sorry for the shitty live stream today. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I really let you guys down. Today's stream was pretty shit. And I feel bad for it. I'll be back tomorrow with a better stream. We're probably going to be on later in the evening. That's all for now, though. Hit that follow button on your way out on TikTok. Drop us up on YouTube. Peace, love, good night, and goodbye.